Just getting some building permits data coming through here. 1.28 million, a little bit downside here. Hasn't populated on this site, but we're just hearing in my ear. 1.28 million versus 1.4 million expected there. There it is. On housing starts data, the building permits number 1.5 versus 1.4 expected. Housing starts month over month, downside as well, negative 1.8%. versus a 2.3% print expected there. We'll get energy data coming up at 10:30 this morning. The big one, though, down here, yeah, Fed Chair Powell coming through at 2:30 with the press conference, 2 o'clock. Interest rate decision. Looks like we're going to get another quarter point coming off. We'll also, as you see here, get a dot plot. We'll get the projections coming up here, the 1 year, the 2, the 3, and further. For inflation from, and also economic growth from the Fed. So lots to digest going into 2 o'clock this afternoon. We'll touch on what to expect as far as the overall market is concerned. It'll be really about 2:30, I think, maybe a little bit about the dot plot and the projections that we get, but more about 2:30 and what he's going to say about what they think is going to happen going into next year. I'm sure there will be plenty of Trump-related questions because those two have a history. If anyone was maybe not paying attention back the first time around in 2016 when Trump was in office. So we'll see. I mean, the market looking a little bit hesitant here. We are positive on the morning, though.
Well, we're widely expecting this hawkish cut, Brendo, where we do cut that 25 basis points, but expect, for them to say we are not going to be raising or cutting as aggressively in 25. So we'll have to see exactly what he says about that. As you mentioned, the dot plot expected also to show that reflection as well. Lots to talk about today. Obviously, we've got Microsoft in focus. Apparently, they are buying up a storm of Nvidia chips, about 485,000 so far this year, Brendo. Nvidia also releasing a new type of chip, a $250 chip. Jensen went to Twitter yesterday to unveil it. Good look there. Pulled it out of the oven again. I don't know what's up with that. Yeah. And Tesla in focus as well as Rivian.
Smaller, though. I saw it was actually physically smaller. So, yeah, Jensen liking the kitchen look, apparently. I was also reading this morning a couple of analysts with revisions to their projections as far as what the Fed is going to do into 2025. Yep. A lot of them going down from at least 4 cuts back to 3 cuts now. Next year, maybe not as strong as people were thinking and hoping. They were also saying that we might see them talk a little bit or hint at faster withdrawal of cash from their balance sheet. So we'll see. Coming up at 2:30, we'll get some more information. Hopefully today. It's not always the case, but hopefully Powell will actually have some answers instead of non-answers as we typically get from him. But lots to discuss here. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Good morning. You are muted.
Yeah. Morning, everybody. Dun, dun, dun. Jensen's allowed to like whatever he wants to like. If he can do whatever he wants.
His world, yeah.
I feel like today is a day where at least Nvidia, it's been a while, but Nvidia is going to be front of the mind today. And it's been, I'd say, like 2 weeks, maybe, since we've come in, sat down, and the thoughts are maybe more Nvidia than it is even like a Tesla today. So this is going to be good. I don't know whether that news catalyst is the big deal or just the reaction that it had to the 130 level yesterday. I think, getting back to 130 and now gapping up is going to be a bigger thing for Nvidia. On any kind of a Fed day, the drill. There's days cut up into a couple of sections. We have our open. Whatever your plans are at 2 o'clock, 2:30, things can change. Your levels don't matter as much. You want to be reacting to whatever the market's going to give you at that point, but you just sort of stay on task until that moment. I got block on the mind this morning. Alphabet in that 200 rejection looks spicy, although, I don't know if we'll get enough of a pop. I think that can be a fade today on Google. But lots to look forward to. After the bell, we've got Micron earnings. They're one of the last few big ones. And then tomorrow, you still have Nike to come through as well. So, not much in terms of overnight earnings, but plenty to watch, and especially Nvidia back in play.
Yeah, Nvidia will be the top idea here, and as Neil said, yesterday was Tesla, a couple days in a row now, and now we'll be back with Nvidia. I think we could have seen I don't know why this is always so zoomed in over there. We could have seen that sort of capitulated bottom there yesterday, where he bounced around a little bit. I'll put the volume up; we can see it later. But then there's the bounce back up. So yeah, I mean, we were sort of saying like Google ran to the highs, Nvidia ran to Amazon ran to the highs, Tesla up there, Microsoft, Meta, they're all there. Maybe it's time for something else to get there, and maybe it's time for Nvidia. So yeah, we'll wait to see. I have Micron on the list today as well. We're going to look at some block, but I actually didn't even realize all this week that they were reporting on Wednesday. We're focused on the Fed, and we really loved this break. Remember when we went from 104 or whatever it was, 107 up to 110ish, 111, and now today it looks like we're trying to break those levels again here. So we'll see about Micron today beating up this market right here, 111.25 or so. That's 111.15. So we'll see if we can sort of base it out here. Nice little dip buy opportunities. Lots of stuff today to look at. And then we got the Fed, so, and we have, yesterday was me and Adair going back and forth on this. There it is, the spiders, the Dow. Was the 9th day. So we were heading into the 9th day. So we'll see if we can make a 10 in a row to the downside today for the diamonds. Started the day with a green. Nice little positive point right there. Yeah, Palo Alto split. Good point there. Someone in the chat was mentioning Palo Alto. So yeah, look, lots to discuss, lots to do. We're excited. Fed at 2 o'clock. We'll be on about 1:45 again. And yeah, it should be.
I wonder what they'll do.
Should be lots to talk about. Yeah, it's 97%. Yeah. I actually.
I thought it'd be over 98 by now. That's it.
Yeah, you know what? I haven't checked it this morning, but
it'll be 99.
Yeah, at some point it doesn't really matter. Yesterday I stumbled across. I watched that Ronnie Chang. He has a Netflix special. So I actually he was talking about a Sasquatch in a Whole Foods. So I just thought that was funny. So I just went over to Grok and made this. Then I stumbled upon something that it's not mine. Was written here about what to expect. So for guidance, the rate cut confirmation, this is what the 97%, what we're going to be looking for here. The tone, is it going to be hawkish or dovish, and a little bit of explanation about that as well. And just looking here, Trump policies, there's a little bit here about cryptocurrencies as well. This was interesting because Bitcoin usually bullish with rate cuts. So right there, we can have a quick look there. So if you want to go over, maybe Bears versus Bulls can post this, but it's just a post that I found that I sort of retweeted there. So anyways, go have a look at that. Fed rate cut should be interesting there today at 2 o'clock. It's a quarter point. It's pretty much baked in. And as Brendan said, for January, it's already, I think it's 70% that they're not going to cut. So yeah, maybe we are in a little bit of a cycle of pause.
And we get a dot plot today as well. So that'll give some indication. I think some people are looking at I heard Brendan say 3, and I saw at least one analyst saying you could get as few as 2. Economy is very, very, very resilient, and not just resilient in the U.S. in a general sense, compared to the rest of the world where there's a lot of turmoil going on. You have geopolitical turmoil. You've got turmoil in a few rather large governments and one small one here. So yeah, it's going to be difficult for them to be remotely aggressive next year. So that dot plot is going to be on watch.
Nicola just popping up in front of me here over the headline to open a West Sacramento Hyla location in January 2025. Didn't move on that, but NKLA. Yeah, the two notes I was reading were suggesting they were revised down 4 to 3. So yeah, even a little bit more hawkish on 2 for next year, so we'll see. Uber here up nicely again this morning, 1.3%, trying to get back to 62. We were above it briefly, broke back below, but trying to get back up there right now. CEO Dara coming through with $1 million donation to Trump's inaugural fund as well, joining that bandwagon. Seems like the cool thing to do these days.
Clearly, everybody's doing it, Brendo. Bernstein also chiming in on Uber today, maintaining their coverage with an outperform and boosting the price target to $95. This has been beat up lately on the back of autonomous driving and Waymo, especially expanding in some of their markets, namely Miami. And then we heard yesterday, Waymo looking to expand into Tokyo and really taking efforts to get that done. So a nice $60 hold there. We'll see how this one trades, but yeah, it's been beat up 1 1/3.
On that note, Tesla trying to get back upside right now as well through 470. There's a minor headline on Tesla this morning, the Shanghai plant manager apparently departing. So a leadership change as far as production over there goes, possibly. So 2% downside right now. Wild day yesterday, back and forth for Tesla. There was that Honda Nissan headline that came out of nowhere in the middle of the day yesterday. Didn't end up doing much. We went up, went down, we went sideways after that. It's down 3% here this morning.
And it was important yesterday to find out how Renault felt about this whole thing. They're a major shareholder of Nissan, and you need to get the nod from them to go ahead. Apparently, sources say they're okay with it, depending on certain conditions. So we'll have to see how that all pans out, Brendo. But they've been in talks for a while. I'm talking about Honda, I'm talking about Nissan, looking to kind of consolidate their technologies. A lot of headwinds with EVs and weakening vehicle sales.
Yeah, I mean, it may be a sign of things to come as far as the overall car market is concerned. I mean, we don't really touch on HMC too much. Not a lot of volume on a typical day, but down significantly here right now, guys.
Yeah, well, Tesla, I think obviously everyone's going to be involved in Tesla. The way that it moved off the open I was watching yesterday was insane. But I wanted to get to it. We got a super chat here I wanted to acknowledge. Thank you, Mr. Westermeyer. And 1 year ago, was it 1 year ago today? I might be curious about this. You rang the opening bell and Sharif did the Bring Sally Up. Awesome being there and getting to eat with Neil and Brando. Best time with Sean. And thank you very much, Mr. Westermeyer. I can't believe that was a year ago today. Time has absolutely flown. We appreciate all our fans so much. It was a pleasure, obviously, getting to meet you. And yeah. Look, I see. Look in the chat there. Jabril's like, is Nissan pronounced like that? Nissan. See, I turn to Sean. I'm like, isn't it Nissan? Because I usually make the assumption. Look, man, I'll assume sometimes that maybe I just have it wrong in my head. But no, the big movers today, at least on what I'm looking at in the car space, it's not going to be any of those. It's going to be Tesla, and then there's Rivian. And Tesla, I don't know what the heck was going on with the volatility off of the open yesterday, but a couple of things were of note. In the afternoon, again, it just catches a bid. It just keeps on catching a bid in the afternoon. So I think you got to watch out for that. But at the open, that's a wild $15 move that you see up, down. So if that's, like it's at 470 right now, I'm just going to throw that out there. If it has that kind of volatility, you're looking right back in at like a 455 sort of dip and rip type of play. That's the first place I'll be looking. And then Rivian, there was a downgrade or at least a price target cut, and it lost the $15 level yesterday. And look how good 15 was the last 2 days. Support to resistance. So I think that this one's going to be on my radar for a bit of a fade play if it trades off that 15. I'm not sure. You can't always guarantee you're going to get there. But yeah, a nice little uptrend for Rivian, but that $15 fade, kind of a little bit of a head and shoulders as well.
Yeah, Tesla right here at that 470. I mean, what a key spot. We played off that yesterday. It was good all the way up to 484 or something like that. All right, so here's another name here, Rigetti. I mean, another quantum name. We talked about this, about how I had that friend that's long sub $1 here. This is at $11 right now and looks to be going even higher now, up another 2% here, Rigetti. So just I didn't even see anybody in the chat talking about it, but you're going to see 1175, 1180 break right here. Very, very possible. You saw yesterday what happened right off the open. So let's just zoom back in just to have a quick little look at that. So, came back in, found some support, then took out that top. So that top was 950. The move was up to $10, and then it faded back out again. So I think that there could be possibility for some moves here again today as the trend is upside the 200 period. Yesterday, once we bounced off of it, we haven't seen it since. So could possibly be retest down here near $11. But this name, again, has a good chance of going. I just feel like it's coiling up right now, looking for that break. And the thing about it is, if it breaks one way, then you can get out if it breaks the other. So this is not necessarily going to be a name that's going to pop 40 or 50% today, but the trend on this only being $11 is up. So if you're playing a little bit cheaper names, in the quantum space, and you are getting some news, there are some quantum names, and we go to the quantum QTUM. I thought that is what it was. Is it? Q. I did this yesterday. QUTM? No, it's QTS, isn't it? QTUM. I thought it was. Anyways, I'll get it. Anyways, I'll figure it out. It's not that. That's not what it is. But I'll find it out. Anyways, quantum stock's going to the downside a little bit there, but I do like that Rigetti. So I'll figure out that ETF.
PRZO, a couple of people talking about this right now, 225, trying to hold as support. This thing had a huge move after the close yesterday, after regaining NASDAQ compliance, but coming back in a hurry right now. It's one of the top as far as the volume side of things so far this morning. Already 37 million shares. The float only 7.5 million. So we had a couple of those yesterday, just wild moves on teeny tiny little floats. So, I mean, we're talking about this with Michael Noss going back to last week. I mean, even Mitch yesterday was talking about all these high flyers once again.
Very strong, Brendo, and it's been a good time to be a small cap trader. They've been continuing even after the midday. A lot of these ones, you know, they'd have their run in the morning, they'd have their run in the pre-market. Then by the time 11, 12 o'clock came on, they were below the volume weighted average price. That isn't happening lately, so they're catching a bit of a tailwind. So let's look to trade them. Right now, I see a nice level at around $2 where, you know, you could find some support there, up 45% here in the pre-market and doing volume, Brendo. So this is going to be on my watch list for the midday.
Doesn't have to be a reason. Doesn't have to make sense. Just moving around. This one does actually have news. CGTX coming through with positive data on a study. Got back above $1 here. This thing was 45 cents. We're at 105 right now, up 128% as well. So I mean, there's already, just quick math, 3 or 4 here. Above that triple-digit % gains already in the pre-market, guys, for little small caps this morning.
Small caps, huh?
Yeah, I feel like if it's not if it's not quantum and it's not like maybe nuclear, like that Oklo that's going this morning, I don't know how much I love it. Because there's only ever so much volume to go around when it comes to these small cappers, and nothing against QGTX. Actually looks interesting at the dollar level. But I feel like if you're going to be in one of them, we were just talking about the quantum names. I think they're the ones that have consistent juice right now. Like, it's kind of the wave that you want to ride on. That said, you know, it's at $1, which is probably more than I'll be able to say for Nikola in about a week or so. Because if you haven't looked at the chart of Nikola, oh my goodness. It's at, I think it's like at $1.13 or something, and about to be a penny stock again, so they can reverse split again. No, but the good thing about this is even if this one were to lose $1, you have like 80 cents as a bit of a spot where you could find a little bit of support on the way back in. Because I think you've already had a couple of sells and you can see it holding the buck. So it's pretty tight to the $1 level right now. It'll give you maybe a tight trade off the open if you're looking for it. Volume's good. It's going to do hundreds of millions of shares today. But I think that 80-cent level when you go back at the daily, like that's the spot that's interesting. And only because I said so. At some point, Nikola's going to get to $1, and I feel like this will be it'll be hard to see in here. But if you look back, this day here in April is when it lost support underneath $1 and went like 90 to like 70, and obviously a reverse split and then continuing to fall. And Brendan brought this up. This is going to be on watch. If this loses $1 in the near future, I think there's going to be a trade there. For Nikola. It could always bounce first, but yeah, not a bad look. I think I'd rather be looking at you know, something like an Oklo today. This is Altman's nuclear name. It's well above VWAP, 15% up. Nice little rebound trade yesterday. Kind of getting back on the schneid here on the daily after pulling back some. So this seems like it should have some continuation. Anything above the 20 level looks good on OKLO. I'd be more interested in this or one of the or possibly one of the quantum names if you're picking a small cap to go.
So here is the chart that I was looking for. It must not be in our system. So it is the quantum ETF, of course, here, QTUM right here. So this is the ETF Solutions Defiance Quantum ETF. And there it goes all the way to the upside. So I'm not going as crazy as potentially I thought I was, but maybe I still am. Here's the biggest quantum name, of course, but you know, Google yesterday, wow, what a roller coaster. I mean, this looks like a wicked roller coaster. Like, you know, you start here, you climb up, and you get down, and you get up to that peak, and then it's like downside, oh, you get another one, and then, oh, you get another pop, and then you finish at the lows. Well, that's never a good sign when you finish at the lows, especially when you open up right near those lows again. So I'm a little nervous about this name here with the market hovering around zeros. Google is as well. I think it's a downside push. You know, I don't know if it's going to look, if it gets back to 200 bucks, then it's a long, so it doesn't really matter. I don't necessarily want to fade it at that level. I'd rather wait for it to break and then have a C up here at 201, because if it's getting up there, then something's working. I don't expect a huge move in the market with the Fed coming today. So for right now, I think that this is a little vulnerable down here at 195. So we'll wait to see what happens with Google. We may have to just keep playing VWAP if we're looking for some shorts. It's the same thing like we liked yesterday with AMD, right? So like yesterday on AMD, we really liked that short, and you had to wait for it to get up to that 127 area. And when it did, this is still Google. Oh my God, AMD, go switch. Okay, there it is. Once it got to that 127, then you had that move back in. But look what it was doing all morning. We were looking at it and we were like, oh my God, this is the worst. It was very, very choppy. And then once it got going, and you knew that you liked the short, now today, different story. We'll talk about Nvidia, but there's the complete collapse in the name. So all you have to do is have the right idea and pick your levels. You could have also thought this was a long down here as well. But at the end of the day, big moves here in a couple names with Google and AMD. So they can both be on radar if you're looking for a potential extension on something here today. I still think AMD's a short.
Short till it ain't, I think.
I think that's the right way to do it. I mean, until it gets above that 140 mark, I think it's a short. Or maybe 145, looking at the chart there for
I'm trying to think, where is it? The top of you know what's interesting? Like the top of the this channel that AMD's been down on, like obviously when a stock's in a downward channel, the resistance sometimes move down with it. Like it's not even getting back into the top. I think as long as it's underneath 135, 133 to 135, it's still a bit of a fade. It's sitting in the middle, diddling in the middle, but the trend is so very clear on this bad boy. Like look at all of the look at all of the other chip names that have been so strong recently, and every time this has tried to go, it's just essentially failed. So yeah, I'd be leaning into this one and still thinking of it as a short. Although I liked Google a little bit more because of the 200 failure, and it's like a day two type of play. I think Google's a great stock. I just think because it failed 200, it looks like a bit of a short. But speaking of short, Adara's in red today.
Yeah.
And we've seen at least sometimes in the past that has meant that we could be having a little bit of weakness in the markets. Let's see some upgrades and downgrades. Adara.
Oh, hello here, guys. Yes, I am wearing red. I will have to see if the market is wearing red today as well. But we're going to start here with some of these upgrades and downgrades because it's a pretty stacked list. Expedia getting an upgrade from BofA Securities, actually up 3% today. Pfizer up about 1.5% with the Stevens upgrade. Dow getting an upgrade from Evercore ISI, and Barclays upgrading Transocean. Now on the downgrade side of things, we're kicking it off with Electronic Arts, the downgrade from Stifel. Moderna, which is going to be leaving the NASDAQ 100 along with SMCI and Illumina as of next Monday. They're also today getting a downgrade from Argus, so mRNA on watch to the downside. Match Group getting a downgrade from JP Morgan Chase, and Rivian being downgraded by Robert W. Baird. What's interesting about this downgrade is also today we had Baird raising Tesla's price target from 280 to 480. So Baird here with these EV ratings. Pretty interesting stuff, guys. Back to you.
Thank you, Adara. And this I didn't realize when I was off yesterday, because I checked things in the markets, because that's what you do sometimes. But Moderna broke 41, but it didn't happen until right at the end of the day. So this is actually, I mean, it's got the downgrade. The bigger story, of course, coming out of the index on effective Monday morning, coming out of the index Friday night. It was a flat bottom break at about 330, and now it's underneath that 41 on the daily. It's not at 50. It's not at its lows. It still has like $5 to go to get down to 36 here. But still, if it's going to hold underneath 41, this is setting up as a bit of a short. Not a lot of volume pre-market, but flat bottom break and holding underneath that 41 price will be key. This one will probably be worth at least a look, and we got free locates on it, so good to go here on Moderna. Well, I mean, the short setup's there. I guess not good to go if you're long in your personal account.
A name that you could have got long, and we'll see if it holds $60. I mean, Uber today up 1%. So catching another upgrade, not on our board there, but nice move up to $62. We talked about that earlier. It was one of the stories that we talked about at the beginning of the show. It looks like we may have you know, we had talked about this yesterday, and then it broke in the afternoon. So we were shorting Uber ahead of this 60-50 level. Once it broke, we got out, which was good because it ripped up to that 61. So now I'm thinking we can use these as levels, man. I think we can use 60-50 now as a long, and maybe even yesterday's close at $61. So I think that that's going to be something here. The sticky note will be out in a second, but I should have probably put Uber down here in and around this 60. 61, maybe you could start the bidding, but I would rather be long in this 60-50 area, the spot that sort of we were shorting yesterday, and then there's the break in the afternoon. So if you're with us in the afternoon, you saw we had to get rid of that stock. We reloaded it a bunch of times, and then finally, like, that was a great reload. Remember when it spiked up there to 75? We were like, what? And then it came right back into VWAP, held it, and then up goes, right? So, you know, sometimes it's like we said, it's easy to buy the stock and upgrade it the next day and then look like a genius. So that's what these guys do, right? They sit there, they buy stock knowing that they're upgrading it the next day, where the rich keep getting richer. We just try to hope to find levels that we can play the same game. So stock market, it's rigged for this kind of stuff, but for long term, we can all win. So let's see if Uber right here down at $60 is going to be a good level for us. So we've recently bought more down there. Uber on an upgrade today, up 1%. Let's see where it goes.
I wanted to show this kind of a crazy visual to pass along. This is the S&P 500 advanced decline. So 11 days in a row here, we've been negative. It's the second highest ever. And another thing to note, oh yeah, the market's positive during that time as well. So we were talking about this a little bit last week, but all of the other days on this list were negative overall performances for the market. This is the only time the market's actually been positive. 11 straight days in a row we've had negative advanced decline for the S&P.
Which it jives with other pieces of information. We saw the Dow, the 9-day losing streak. It was like the longest, I think, in its history.
It's been a long time.
Not mistaken. Yeah. So yeah, big, interesting move there. The Mag 7 clearly having an effect here. They've been positive the last few days. The NQ has been outperforming the ES. So we'll have to keep an eye out on that, Brendo. But yeah, not much else to say about that. I want to mention, guys, that we have moved on to the new contract. So let's have a look at what they're doing volume-wise here. I was mentioning to Brendo off camera, the ES December contract done about 81,000 contracts in the pre-market. Double is the March contract at 162,000. Same look for the Dow, the Russell, the NQ, all the new contract doing more than the old.
All right, if you haven't done so yet, make sure you jump down to the description of this video. Grab the absolutely free watch list. Comes out every single morning before we come on at 8:30. With everything that's moving around in the pre-market and why. I just realized I haven't completed our list yet. But anyways, free watch list every single day. Go grab that right now. Let's talk about top of the list this morning. A couple of interesting names. I mean, we touched on them already a little bit, but we'll start with Nvidia here. Back to the upside we go after. I mean, it feels like it's been a week or so of nothing but negativity. 130 ends up being a decent level, both in the pre-market yesterday and then throughout the midday. We end up closing back towards session highs. Here's the gap back to the upside, 2.6% right now.
And Jensen's releasing a new product here, Brenda. It's called the Orion Nano Super. It's part of the Jetson computer line. And here he is on Twitter, Fabian, releasing it and announcing it to everybody. I love how he takes it out of the oven like he's been cooking it or something like that. No, but in all seriousness, this type of chip here is supposed to be great for drones, human robotics. You're able to run large language models locally without having to go to the server. I don't know why he's talking to his dogs about it, but they seem to be interested audience there, Brendo. I mean, so you're not gonna, I can't hate on that too much. But good look here. Basically running all the largest or the most advanced generative AI models locally. So I know you're all about the humanoid robots and
can't wait.
Yeah, there you go. It's gonna have a chip like this.
I mean, the dog looked kind of bored, to be honest, but I kind of would be too, I guess.
Small,
I love
chip,
it
though.
in his
Small
kitchen.
Chip. Yeah.
What are we thinking here, guys, for Nvidia today?
I'm thinking I love the Christmas theme going on there from Jensen. Like he's got the, I don't know, he's got the little bit themed spatulas and whatnot.
Yeah, he's got the wreath in the background there.
Yeah,
he's like he has a cockapoo. I have a cockapoo, so we have lots in common.
And the leather indoors, fair enough. Do your own thing, man. Maybe it gets cold in there like it does in our office. But what's not cold? See, what's cold right now is the market. And Nvidia's up 2.5 points, but like it is worth noting, just very quickly here, like you are seeing a bit of a pullback. This went red on the NASDAQ. The ES just pulled back underneath 61.3. So the S&P barely holding on to green. Look, Nvidia's, it's up and it's gapped up. And what I like about it today is the way that it held that 130 level. So on the daily chart, you go all the way back to the October low, like 130, 128 to 130 was a good resistance level, then a support one. And the reaction to losing that yesterday was to close higher after the dip, close up at the top, and then gap up. Whenever I look at something like this for a reversal play, it's usually pretty simple. First spot is prior resistance, which was support 132.5. And if we lose that, you've got 131.5 here. Both those levels I like for dip buys on Nvidia. You can also see a 135, which is set to break out. So there's a lot of ways for this to play and play nicely on Nvidia. You could dip $1 into that prior high, and I think we're good to go there. Look for a reversion, and then there's another $1 lower, and then you have a breakout set up at 135. There's a lot of reasons to want to look for plays today on Nvidia because you have multiple levels to work off of. Get rid of this wick. It'd be nice if you actually got trades like that. But yeah, Nvidia looking relatively strong. I don't like this about the market right now, though. Like I look up at Google, I might have to adjust the pop and fade plan on Alphabet because that's about to break 195.
Yeah, that's what I was saying before. Like that 195 is definitely coming into play there today. Okay, so Nvidia. Look, I mean, I wrote down here it is going to be, the #1 idea on the sticky note today for me as well. Would be down there at 130. Pretty soon we got to change this. I got to find how many subscribers we got right in here. Where is it? Oh, I got to hold on. I got to refresh this. That's still so. The things you can create here is crazy. All right, I don't know where it is. Anyways, okay, I'll refresh it after. But I really like the 130 level. So anyways, here on NVIDIA, I don't know if we made a bottom, but that little run into into the close of 131. If NVIDIA wants to pull back, I just think this is the name to buy. The market's weak here, and it's fading out. I feel like coming into a known Fed, yeah, it's a little bit. I could see the market doing nothing, to be honest with you, today. I know that's not super exciting. So here's a little bit of a push down to see what kind of hands we have, diamond hands on the short or not. But it's a nice little push to the downside. So we're going to try to figure out what's going on right now with NVIDIA. So if it does continue to push lower because of market, then I like this 130 level right there. So that's going to be something that I'm going to try to buy. If it comes through, it comes through. The level of concern for me to start the bidding is 131. So I'm already bidding. I'm bidding 131.50, like 131.50 on the knot. So if that comes in, great. Because of what's happening in the market right now, I think we got to go back to what we've been doing, and that's looking for a short maybe in AMD. So if the market stays pretty weak here today and we get up to this 127, which is only $1 away, that's possible. Let's see what it does. I would like to see here basically what happened here, but a little bit more. I'd like to see it break this. Try to come up into this 127.50, fail off that, then we hit this short. Bang to the downside. That's the kind of trade that I'm looking for. Let's let AMD break higher, fail up here, then hit it back lower. So that would be the trade for me there on AMD. And then OBS was looking at some Broadcom. What's on the list there today? Okay, so that's it. I was going to talk about Micron, but we'll see that after. Broadcom, after monster quarter, obviously that huge beat, the all-time highs, the everything. It now pulls back there. So today, this is another red ticker into the chip space. So I would say you still want to try to do the same thing as AMD, where we're looking long in NVIDIA, but short right now in Broadcom and in AMD. And it looks like this area for 242, 241.50. So again, I think they're long. It's just you got to break and hold these levels. So if the market continues doing kind of sideways action and we get a little bit of a pop to VWAP, these are the two names in the chip space that I would short. I think there's better shorts, and we'll get to some of these, but those are some ideas right now. And look what NVIDIA's doing as the market right here looks like it's going a little lower. NVIDIA just taking out 134. So like NVIDIA here, as the market ticks up a little bit, this name really tries to go. So even on a little bit of a pullback on the NASDAQ, it's not doing anything to NVIDIA. So really like the stock, really think it's a long. And yeah, that 129 yesterday, don't know the next time we'll see it. Maybe this afternoon.
205.
All right, Tesla, possibly one of those, maybe a little more downside follow through to come today. Baird, worth noting, Baird maintaining outperform here on Tesla, have raised their price target to 480. There's not much else. The first Giga Shanghai employee going to leave this week as well, so maybe some production changes to come. That's what it looks like right now, 2.7% downside.
Yeah, Baird bullish on Tesla, Brendo. They like the strong growth prospects that they believe Tesla has in the hopper. They like the regulatory tailwinds, especially with respect to autonomous driving, cost reduction, and increased factory utilization as they look to become more efficient, and connections obviously between Elon Musk and Donald Trump. Separately here, with respect to the Shanghai plant manager departure, Song Gang is his name, and he's been with the company for many years, since 2018. He oversaw the launch of the Gigafactory in Shanghai, and he was such a critical part of the company that he did help build out and address some of the production issues that they had in the California and the Texas plant back in 2022. Looks like Fei Wenjin going to be his temporary replacement.
We'll see if this can hold these levels from yesterday that came into play, the low and then the midday low as well. Felt a little bit toppy if you zoom out, though, guys, the overall day action yesterday.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely feels a little bit like a little bit of a top got made. You look at that daily chart, those 480, 484, 485 in there, bit of a rejection candle. But when I see what happened yesterday, this is the open. It's like a $10, $15 drop at the open and then an instant rip. You know, then you also found support down here underneath the 460 level for the afternoon style trade. So if there's going to be volatility, this market is starting to come down. Like the ES is about to go red to join the NASDAQ being red. And you saw that with the lack of breadth in the market. So I'm feeling you could get a little bit of a pullback here. And if you do get one of those quick dumps off the open, I'm looking for underneath 460 in here for a quick curl on Tesla. And when I sat down, I was like, oh yeah, we're going to play resistance into 480 on Tesla today. But that was when we were trading at 470 something. So now all of a sudden, you're not really there. I think you got to be a little bit patient. You're much closer to what I think is a dip and rip area here at between 460 and 455, straight off the open. Like, look at what happened yesterday. If it does anything resembling that underneath the 460, that's where I want to look for it. And I'm bearish on Rivian. Oh, wait a minute, that's next.
Oh.
Okay. See, it's hilarious because every single time we talk about Tesla, if I have a thought on Rivian, I always just sort of work it in. Because Rivian's never on the rundown. And then today, I don't even have to because Rivian's on the
downgrade. It's not even down that much. All right, so we'll talk about, well, maybe it is now. I haven't actually looked at Tesla or Rivian in a minute. All right, so, shout out to, I tweeted something out here. I'm trying to start something a little new, and that is this, what are you guys trading kind of question here. Just very, very basic. A lot of responses there. Tesla, there's a lot of traders here. Tesla, again, Tesla down here, always Tesla, says trading ES. Tesla as well. So, as we get going on this post, I just want to say, Tesla. So we're going to look at it. It's been a great trading vehicle. It's been one of the number one, symbols around here for sure for the last month or so since that election. Look, up 100%. It's been a monster stock, and I think we still want to look long on it. But, today we're starting to head a little southbound. It feels a little different than the last couple of days where we're starting this move down 2% instead of letting it get to those levels. We picked out that 437 perfectly. Yesterday we wrote down 460, and that wound up coming into play, went down to 458. So I'm actually calling that again. I think this 460 level, again, I don't have it written down, and it could completely fall out. But if you try that 460 again right there, I think with a little bit of risk down into this 456-ish area, I think you can risk, $4 or $5 in and around here for this again, if the market gets going backside again. So, Tesla kind of went without the market yesterday. Tesla was wound up quite nice up. I think it was up 3% yesterday. So yeah, good day, giving it back today. Let's see if it holds these bottoms. So for me, Tesla's still a long. And I don't want to play a short anywhere in here. If you're going to short anywhere, and I actually wrote it, commented on one of those posts that someone was saying, yay, Tesla. And that they were short 473. I think it was Brad said he's short 473 puts, I guess. And the thing is that's great trade. It's just watch out for like this area up here, 480, 482 is what I wrote down to Brad. So I would just watch out. Like if you get up into here, I think it's going to give you the juice to get back down. You don't want to break that top, man, because Tesla has 500 written on it. So you're going to have to print that probably. There's not too many days left this year. So I don't know. I was very positive that it was going to hit it this year. We actually, Obi was not calling it, but yesterday he was, I think it was more than 50-50 that it was going to get to that 500. Didn't, got to that 484, 15 bucks away, pretty close. We'll see if we can get back there today. But for me, it's a long down there, 460-ish.
That, as we mentioned here, 1.7% coming off what happened yesterday, pretty much right out of the gate with straight downside, giving back the prior day's gain. It was bared with the downgrade today. They're still 16 bucks, so a couple bucks above where we are today, downgrading from outperform to neutral for Rivian.
Yeah, here are the reasons for the downgrade. At least this is what they're saying. Uncertainty with policies. They don't know exactly how the Inflation Reduction Act is going to continue to benefit Rivian in the new administration. There are also geopolitical concerns, especially with the rapidly evolving geopolitical environment and how that affects the U.S. And there's also fewer catalysts, limited significant developments expected from Rivian in 2025. We all know that they're looking at mass producing the R2, so we'll have to see exactly how that all works out. And there's also an EV market slowdown as people, look for alternatives and are slower to adopt EVs. Brenda,
I've seen those. I think they're it's Bright Drop, the FedEx and UPS trucks they have all over the city.
Yes,
electric ones.
Are those Rivian?
Yeah, no, they're Bright Drop.
Bright Drop
is the name, but I'm yet to see one of the Amazon ones.
Same.
Still keeping my eye out for that. But yeah, we're kind of in no man's land right now here, guys, for Rivian.
Yeah, a little bit. I think you gotta zoom out a little bit on this Rivian chart. I think the daily chart's going to show you a nice up move, and I don't want to say that that's over necessarily. You still have a very good channel going to that upside, but what I see here is a simple 2-day try to break away from $15. You got up to 15.5, try to consolidate, and then a pullback. I think it's like an over/under at 15 for me today, and we're healthily we're a healthy amount underneath the 15 bucks. So shorts back into 15. Your prior close it's at 14.70. I think that sets it up for a pop and fade. The prior consolidation range was well under 14 bucks. Like you're down to like 13.20, 13.30 in here. These higher lows at 13.60. So there's plenty of room for a continuation play, especially if we get any weakness in this market. So I'm looking shorts here on Rivian. Free locates for us here at Real Trading. And yeah, the ES just went red. The NASDAQ is slightly red. This is only down a couple of points, but it's more the technical failed break at the $15 level that interests me.
ARKQ. Yeah, okay.
ARKQ?
No, I was just looking at this one. Wow. Okay, that's interesting. All right, so someone in the chat there wrote ARQQ, and it went by too fast, and I was like ARQQ, like they said this is a quantum play. This is we just had it up there. Hold on a second, ARQQ. So this is Arquit Quantum. So again, a huge move to the upside there. And then I was like, when I saw that, I was like, okay, it's an ARC. I thought it was Kathy's ARC, quantum play. And I said, wait a second, it's not ARQ, right? So it's ARK. But then the only ARC name, that's why I was checking my account, the only ARC name that I've ever bought and that I'm in is ARKQ. And that is the robotics and autonomous ETF. And I bought it because of this reason, and we're in the money now. I just looked 48% on this thing. So we must have bought this, or 38%. We must have bought this down into here somewhere. I'm going to double check all this, but that was a nice surprise. I was like, oh my God, like I don't have too much into robotics other than like we were talking about with just Tesla right now and Google. But that was nice. Maybe we'll time to sell that one. Don't tell Brian Shannon that I bought any Kathy Wood stuff. Okay, so thanks Brian for yesterday, by the way. Great recap show. Man, that guy, Too many ideas and too smart, that guy. All right, so 14.45, $15 for Rivian. I mean, it is just another day there. Anybody that didn't sell right here, it is what it is. I think you're going to get another opportunity. I don't think Rivian is a story that's done. You know, we like the idea there. They got the money from the government for Georgia. They got the money from Volkswagen. You know, they're eventually going to be fine. I think you just got to sort of, you know, tide this little move down and look to get longer. So I would say that $12 down here looks pretty good if it falls that far. I don't think it's going to fall that far today. I actually want to pick up these dips. So I would think that even into this 14 looks fine for me in and around here today. Why do I have too many lines on this 5-minute chart? I think something's changed here. But anyways, down into $14 to me is a buy for Rivian. Let's just see what size is there. Might get to there today. Just quickly, someone was asking about the imbalances. There's nothing yet. So NASDAQ will come out. There's OKLO. I mean, we've sort of mentioned that a little bit. And then QBTS is on there every single day. Other than that, not much. There's Uber with a small buy, as we've discussed that stock today. 925 is when the NASDAQ imbalances come out. I have Randy. I sent out the bat signal there.
You have like extra, just to
coffee.
keep it warm. Like this coffee's getting cold so fast.
Yeah, this is the morning crew. And over to two more members of the morning crew with, who is over there again? Oh yeah, Brendan and Sharif.
Right.
I need coffee too. Here's Bitcoin right now, red on the day so far. We were just saying we need like an R. Shining across.
We should have
studio
like a
for
rank.
Randy. There's Bitcoin red, as I mentioned, 1.5%. Not a huge move, but still hanging out basically at the highs here after getting above 108 yesterday, coming back in on very low volume today too so far.
Still holding that $100,000. I guess we're going to call it support now because it was resistance for all of 2 days. No, I'm kidding, of course. I read a really interesting article today about quantum computing and its effect possibly on Bitcoin, Fabian. Really interesting here. They're positing that there actually could be a downtime where Bitcoin or the systems would have to get upgraded. So there is this full bandwidth commitment where they're saying that you would have 76 days of offline status costing approximately $912 million. If they don't decide to do it that way and they put a partial bandwidth at about 25%, it'll be 305 days. Allows for slower mining, but trading, but reducing market confidence due to the higher fees and delays. Obviously, this is well still away as quantum computing still a very nascent technology, but with Willow coming out and, kind of bringing that to focus, it's something that I think, a lot of people are going to be talking about.
And the way things are developing, a week away, it seems,
Crazy.
how fast things happen now. All of these equities looking very similar here in the pre-market. I was just going through a couple of them. Here's Robinhood, 0.8% downside. Coinbase about the same downside. It's worth noting Mara had this Piper Sandler note. That was actually yesterday, but Mara looking a little bit better than the rest at this point as far as the percentage.
Yeah, I think at least for temporarily, I think we're kind of safely above the 100,000 mark, that's obviously a good thing. If you look at what's been happening each time we've made a press back to 100, generally speaking, you've lost it. But now the last couple of times on dips, you're holding out 103, which looks pretty good in here. Not incredibly sexy. The market's looking a little bit weak, but I think this is where you want to play off of. The 103, 103 half should be the spot to go to, at least as far as today goes. What I have an eyeballs on a little bit here is MSTR. Like it's got this wedge going on here, and this higher low on the wedge is just sitting. Like yesterday's close at like the 387. Like if it loses that, I think you've got some pressure underneath to maybe take it down into the 60s. So it's kind of sitting on like a hairline trigger, that MSTR. And then if you looked at Coinbase the last couple of days, this has been one. See, now this doesn't want to load. All right, I'm going to throw to you is like now this wants to freeze on me. Now Coinbase has been a little bit more bullish. I think this should work now. There we go. Coinbase has been a little bit more bullish and it's been able to hold above this top end line. I'm just looking for this to close and show buyers above 325. So if we can continue this whole of the 103 level, I kind of like this one a little bit better. And we're going to get to, oh no, we don't have Square on there. Well, Block I like.
Yeah, lots of time.
Yeah, I mean, we have Block as well. I think that one's setting up pretty decently. And let me just give you my black chart for Block. This is one where they got an upgrade today, but I don't necessarily think it's going to matter. Yeah, this chart doesn't want to load either. All right, I guess we're going all trade ideas for these ones. So Block, I love the upward channel that's happening on Block. Like out of all those names, this is the one that I think is setting up the best for potential long today. I want to make sure I keep my daily up and then go to the 15 in here. Like on the 15, you've got these nice higher lows. You got a rounded bottom. It's setting up. You could break 96 here for a breakout long. Then you've got some support down in and around the 93 area into 94. So I think you've got dip support after the rounded bottom and a breakout set up at this 96. So on strength in the crypto space, it's Block that looks nice for me. If we were to lose 103, I think you just look over at MSTR. I understand, the add to the NASDAQ and all that good stuff, but it didn't exactly set the world on fire after the announcement of the addition. All bets are off on Friday. Friday's going to be a different story with MSTR, but it's Block that I like. You can take out this 96. I think it's got lots of room to test up to 100. And then you've got the higher low after this rounded bottom sitting 93 to 94.
Yeah, so I was just going to look at the Bitcoin chart here, to be honest with you. And we talked about this with the 15-minute chart and the 200 period moving average. And there it was, there it was, there it was, there it was. It rode it all the way back up into those highs again yesterday. And so it was been really good riding that all the way upside, right? Buying the dips, buying the dips, buying the dips again, and even buying the dips here. But then you came up and then you started failing off this 50-period moving average. And then you tried to break it. Once it broke it for the next time, then what you're supposed to do here is use some of these prior bars. So right there, that was where we stopped before dropping or before getting back through the 50 period or the 200 period moving average. So as it continues to climb through there, you're like, great, the next move is higher. But then you come back in. So never fear, right? We've broke this before, but we've held every time. This time, as you could see right there, and this is why I like Bitcoin right now. It trades exactly like a stock. It's pretty perfect. Like the moves are there. It's not super volatile. It's actually less volatile than many names, many equity names. And then there it is right there. There's the break of that prior bar low. And boom, to the downside. So now I have to do the same thing no matter what I think about Bitcoin. And I actually had a dream of liquidating pretty much half of my TFSA account and putting it all into IBIT, to be honest with you, because that's how much I believe right now in Bitcoin, which would be way too irresponsible amount of money to put into it, but whatever. At this point, you only live once or twice. But right down into there. So for right now, though, Bitcoin 106, that's the level. That's the 50 period, the 200 period moving average again. So I'm not turning bullish on Bitcoin until we break back above that, because it's just a trend here. Like when you're underneath it, it's fallen down, and this is giving you a good short right back into 94, right? After really breaking the 50 period, the 200 period, why do I keep calling it 50? The 200 period right there at 100,000, we broke it, we went down to 94. That's really the last time. I mean, sure, we broke it here, but we battled. So right now we're battling again, but I don't really trust this until the trend changes again. And I'm going to use the 200 period moving average on the 15-minute chart. See if I say it a little slower, it's more dramatic
effect.
A little more dramatic. And yeah, you heard me right there, the big R, Bitcoin to 1 million. Yeah, that's what I said.
A milli.
That's what I said. I mean, it's going to get there, but I just don't know when. I'm not going to put a timeline on that. Maybe it's as long as 5 years. Who knows?
It'll take at least one more winter before you get the crypto winter. Before you get there.
I mean, look, the stock market's gone 20, 20, 20. The stock market. That's 20%, 20%, 20%. Compounded up. I mean, Bitcoin.
What a year for the NASDAQ.
What a year. What a year.
33%.
I mean, what a 3 decades. I mean, this has been an incredible run. Some of the wealth that's been created just by investing. And I think that if that's what you're going to do with crypto, there's so many people that are holding. That this investment has been just as good as, not as good as an Nvidia or anything like that.
But if you've never rung the register, like you said, like if you never actually ring the register, then you're just up on paper. Like I've made nothing on Bitcoin, but I'm up a lot.
Right, exactly.
Because I have never sold it. I've sold ETH before, but I've never sold Bitcoin. And so you start getting those feels. But also, there's another chip name in there. Look at that. We started with chips. We've got another chip name reporting tonight. Is it a trade?
Just took out the highs. In fact, Micron failed at the highs, back down once again, still 1.8%. Yeah, earnings after the close tonight for MU. Nothing too significant otherwise to mention here.
Yeah, look, analysts from Wedbush, they feel that Micron's Q1 results and guidance could exceed expectations based on favorable September pricing for the high bandwidth memory HBM as well as DDR5, the newer type of RAM. But they also see, market weakness for other types of memory, inventory reductions on OEMs. There's been price cuts on some of the lower bandwidth memory, and there's delays, obviously, in Blackwell shipping, and we know that it's going to be accompanied with Micron's memory, so we'll keep an eye on that. They're also positing, though, a mid-2025 rebound when they think that inventory levels will balance out and Blackwell will have shipped by then. So we should be able to know exactly how it's going to look for the rest of the year.
Yep, after the close tonight, a lot to get through. Fed today, this afternoon, before we get there, but 3 highs here, 114, 115 if you zoom out on a daily chart. Might take an earnings report to get through that area.
Yeah, the earnings report's probably what gets you through 115, but don't sleep on a Fed move, because we've seen volatility in the afternoon from 2 to 2:30, and then maybe even 2:30 once Powell hits the podium, and that's the big level. Ideally, there's a breakout past there at some point today, or maybe even tomorrow. All bets are off if they actually disappoint, because Micron hasn't really been that good of a chart on the daily. It just kind of stinks. But yeah, the 115 is what I have the eyeballs on here. I don't know if you're going to be able to get a breakout, but that's kind of the big level since we took out this 50 period, and now the 200 period is also lingering. You can break away from that 115 level. I think the stock has a lot of catch-up that it can do.
We have Micron written down here as a pretty good trade today for sure. I think breaking that 1125, which is that high that we'll show you in a second, I think that's a great long. We sort of just talked about it right here. Micron reporting tonight, good support around 108. We really like the long 108, 109 dips. So if we get any opportunity to get into that level, oh boy, we will be taking that long. And we're not too far away from that right now. And then I do like the 1125 break. So yeah, I mean, breaks haven't been that great. I mean, if you took it on Google, oh yeah, by the way, that Rigetti, nice little move there. This is the imbalances I meant to show everybody. Nothing of any interest on here as far as bigger names. That TNXP is on here. I know some of you are looking at that, but only 800,000. It's done 40 million. And then QUBT was one of those quantum names, of course. We talked about QTUM. But yeah, Micron. So I have the orders already in. So if it breaks this 1125, we're going long. So that's it right here. That's 111.25. That's 111.15, but let's play it upside. Give it about a buck, maybe down to 110 failure, right? So that'll give it about a buck and change on that one. Hopefully that doesn't happen on the fail. And then if we dip into yesterday's close, I like it even more. So we'll hold off on all of that happening. I also took a shot here thinking about Palantir again, just because it's had so many violent moves. If you get this early dip like we've been getting, I just think that, hey, we're opening up close enough to where we sort of were yesterday in and around this level, and we did get a dip into 71.50, so maybe we get it again. It seems like they want to buy Palantir into the afternoons, right? I mean, there it goes again. There it goes yesterday afternoon. Here it is the day before. We had a little bit of a move into the close right there, as you can see. So that's 3 days in a row, strong moves at some point on Palantir into the last half of the day. So that's going to be something right there to watch out for. Palantir down near 73. I don't know, we had 10,000 people the last couple of days watching. We'll probably get going in a minute. What do we got right here today? Over 8,000. Thank you so much for watching. We are going to have live today. Make sure you hit the like and the subscribe. We're going to have live today with at 2 p.m. So as soon as the Fed hits, just come right back here. If you have to do something in the afternoon, just make sure you're here for the opening of the 2 p.m. So we'll be there for the opening of the afternoon show. These guys will be, Joe and Sharif will be doing lessons throughout the day, trading a little smaller cap names that are moving around in the midday. So that happens 11 today till 1:45, and then us in and around then. So yeah.
And we did get a super chat here, and I want to appreciate the super chat. Thank you very much. No matter what the market does today ahead of the Fed decision, the morning crew is a tier 1 element of Trader TV. Don't forget who you are. There's a great team. We're supported by everybody, and we're just happy to be here for you.
I got a little bit of
Market's
square.
catching a little bit of a bit. Block
Ooh, yeah,
I don't know,
baby.
you say square, I say block.
Yeah.
No, Square just came back in. Oh, yeah, that's a bad wick.
Let's
It's
go.
trading down here.
No, we got filled there, 94.50.
94, yeah, 94.55.
Yeah. That's exactly where we got filled.
There's no volume.
Oh, that's hilarious.
The spread is 50 pennies on block.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
nuts.
long.
The bid is
Yeah,
60. The bid's 60. The offer is 95.08.
It's not, no liquidity to get out. So
Yeah, I'm looking back.
It is what it is.
94
We'll wait for this one. And there it is. So there's the full move down right now on Block Party. So we'll wait. Now we can get out of some more shares. Hopefully we'll be able to get out of something here as we just got filled up at 50. So we'll try to get some out at O's now on Square. All right, 10 seconds left. Adair's in red, but
Oh, no.
the market will be fine. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. The market is now open. All right. So an early fill. I never like it when we get early fills like that. Not like that. Normally, if it drips down, fine. One thing we can catch a bottom, but like that. Not too sure. A top pick at Bernstein. We didn't really get to cover it too much. I was just thinking about a 94 hold. So if we don't hold this 94 area, we're out of block. So early trade there possibly for Square. It's not open yet. So I don't even want to put the order in.
Tesla moving.
Yeah, Nvidia moving. Go ahead. I'm just going to get my order out for Square anyway.
Yeah, Tesla's starting to move off the bottom. I thought yesterday it was a big move down initially. Well, but it took a minute or two. It was a big move down. I'm looking for the dip to get under 96 and then look for some kind of a rip there. Nvidia, that's a name that we definitely wanted the dip buy on. So this is starting to come in. Obviously, volume's going to be big, but it hasn't really challenged 132.5. Just going to zoom out so you can see some of those prior highs. 132.5, 131.5, the two places that we're looking for. Google is on a run. Looks like it is going to get to 198 after all. Google looking very strong right now. But Tesla's coming in if you're looking for a dip buy, and Nvidia both coming into the downside. As the market's weak. I mean, the Nasdaq's red. It's been red all morning. I think a play down into that 460, as we said on Tesla, and Nvidia now through 133. Let's be patient. Look for those dips.
Yeah, I almost put a bid there at 462, like where we were talking about yesterday, but we did not do that. So we'll have to wait to see where Tesla goes exactly for this. But right now the market is pushing lower, as you can see. Nice little move, aggressive move to the downside right now. So block might get blocked right now. No volume, nothing happening, not even open yet. Square, the only position that I have. Nvidia bouncing off as well. What's up, Adara?
There's one sector that's not moving to the downside, and surprisingly enough, is actually health insurance. We have CVS here popping up for volume, which is how we noticed this trend. Up almost a million shares traded so far today. No news on this. We also have UNH here to the upside, UNH and Cigna, though the most volume seems to be in CVS. We know these names have been to the downside lately for a couple different reasons. One, we did have the shooting of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson, which led to some negative thoughts about the insurance industry as a whole, some reflections on that industry. But then as well, we had Donald Trump speaking at his Mar-a-Lago home on Monday, saying he wants to knock out the middlemen. So it looks like it's a bounce here after a couple days of pretty intense selling for a lot of these health insurance names. Watch out for CVS, CI, UNH, and HUM. Back to you.
I'm going to, Neil just pointed this out to me. I'm gonna try to short Palantir here. This is a crazy move.
This is absurd.
Right here for
Resistance
PLCR.
77 on this 2 days ago.
I mean, I cannot be happier with the move. Let's be perfectly honest. But at the end of the day, that's too bad. I offered 75s there and missed them, so that sucks. And now I just offered 50s and missed it again. So again, without punching in, like that's costing me right there. Like just being like a little more, not timid, but just offering the shares, thinking that there was enough volume that you could get them. Could have just punched in. Now it's coming back up, so maybe we'll get these eventually anyways. 76.50 is what we're waiting at. 76.48. It just stopped on us again, so that could have been a good trade right there for us on Palantir. We'll wait for it, but this is a good trade right now. Spin the damn money on this one. This is Square finally starting to open back upside right now. Now we start to make markets, so now it's good. So now there's a Square trade. We talked about this dip into 94.50. We have it, so it's 50 cents. So good job there for anybody that at least believed in some of this trade. So we get out at 95. There's another out. There's another out. There's another out. 95 and change right now for Square. We like the stock.
Yeah, and we like that stock. We like like Nvidia. That's about to get to break 135 as that is going up as the market's going down. Google, on the other hand, it didn't get to 198, so fail. It got to 197 and curled. VWAP is in here at 196. Next available pop, we're going to jump into the short there. There has not been anything on Tesla. that's going to give you any kind of a dip buy, at least not for myself. We didn't get anything under the 460 levels. It continues to just diddle in the middle. Volatility yesterday at the open on Tesla, but not so much today. Nvidia is trying to break out that 135. You're seeing it on some strength as it continues to go higher. But now Google's lost the bid. Okay, you might have to pivot because Google just lost the 195. Might have to move to the 195 flat bottom. We're short in the first pop. It's either back into this high, 195 and a third, or we get it off of VWAP as well.
Well, your first dollar club winner is there with Square, so that's going to be a good one. And here comes Palantir. So we got that trade. We got it on the upside right there. So we're going to go right now temporarily. I mean, I don't know where this is going to go. Nvidia was a nice move up to 135. I actually wanted to play that break, but now it's coming right back in. But what else is coming back in for us? Wow, good trade there on PLTR. Let's see if it fades out a little bit. We're just short at 70. Square is that official dollar now. I mean, I just hope that you guys are following, you know, some of the trades that Neil and I are giving here, because so far so good. One more, yes, that's exactly what we do right there for Palantir. Nice trade on that one, man. So there goes Square as well to the upside. We'll cover, right? I mean, we are not you know, too concerned about where this is going. It just hit the top of the day. So top of the morning to you there, Square. We're taking more out. So nice little trade there for that one. So right there, $1 in Square, and we just took 70 cents or so on PLTRs. So far so good right here. We did it yesterday with Obi. We're doing it here today with Neil. So good trading. Yeah, let's just keep it going. There it is right there. There's Palantir. Boom, right back down into $76. So a little bit of a face slapper right there for PLTR. So it's $1 on Palantir almost, and $1 on Square. Good morning so far, Edera.
We have quite a few runners on watch here. This one currently halted, but I'll give you guys the details right now on Poly Ryzen during its halt, PLRZ. This was actually on our watch list this morning. Market cap of $12.5 million here. This is basically trading higher after announcing a partnership here for goods manufacturing practices with this European company. Again, up about 190%, still halted, but PLRZ on watch. Also, some other multi-day runners are popping up for me here. I'm seeing SKYT. I'm seeing SOUN, RR, QUBT. So a lot of these multi-day runners here with lower floats or larger short floats are definitely going to be on watch. Back to you guys. Make sure to like and subscribe.
Nuke is also halted. NUKK is a halter.
Good one.
As well. That's like a $21 stock, so watch out for that. The market is bleeding at this. Well, bleeding's the wrong word. The market is continuing to head down. So Alphabet, which didn't get the pop up, still trying to be patient. It's trying to make a little bit of a bounce. It's a little early to care too much about VWAP. I still like that 95 area that we lost as a bit of a flat bottom break to be able to join this as this. Look, the market does not look very healthy. There hasn't been obviously a lot of green this morning, so I want to be patient. We didn't get that first initial pop, and here comes Tesla as well. So Tesla coming back down underneath 465. Still hasn't challenged 460 yet. But still going to play that patience game as well with Tesla. And then we talked about Nvidia already, but not AMD. AMD diddling in the middle. If you're trying to short the pops, guess what? You haven't had a pop just yet with that name. Rivian is the other one I liked short, and it tried to get it at 1450. It's only at the quarters. I think there's a lot of room if it continues down. We'll let a 15-minute candle close or try to get back into VWAP. Not going to chase anything. I don't want to short any lows in here on anything. Even if I like the short, I'm not going to short the absolute bottom.
All right. Yeah.
Nvidia again, 135.
Yeah, I was going to be on that. So we did get stopped out of Palantir. We took a little bit more right here. One more try at 77, and we're gone. Nvidia, I'm going to take that break long of 135. So here it comes in right now again. Square's been great. Palantir will give some back. We are holding that short, but right now it's Nvidia looking to break through this 135. That's the play that we're going to take. So yeah, Palantir just went back through 77. So we're going to let that one go. Wow, great long. I mean, I can't believe we were able to buy some at 76 not too long ago. All right, so we're just going to watch this. It doesn't look like it wants to break. The Palantir fake broke again there to the upside. I don't know if I want to try it, though, again right now. The craziest name of them all, though, and we missed this by 10 pennies,
Palantir?
Was Micron. Micron goes all the way down to 10 cents away from our level. I'm bidding 109.25. It went to 109.34. Rate straight up in a straight line up to 111 and change. So watch out. This is another one that's going to break as well. Here comes Nvidia right now.
Nvidia's gone to 99s like 3 times here. There's just a wall of sellers that are attempting to, profit taking or selling out in front of it. It's going to break any second now. 99's on the offer. There is the break. Not a ton of initial follow through there. Yeah, I mean, they're buying now into the teens, so like you like to be able to get into that quarters. You didn't even get to the quarters the first time through, was able to get an 03 fill. Now you're starting to see them buy up the teens. That first $0.50, remember we're in a weak market.
Let's go.
That first $0.50, usually you want to see, it'll usually go a little bit sideways into that breakout. So there goes Nvidia, continuing to look strong. It's crazy that this is breaking out, and every other chart that I'm looking at is literally at their lows, with the exception of Nvidia. Like if it's something else strong, you guys let us know. Although I suppose Micron is the other one that's going well. So Nvidia charging higher. Rivian, forget it. Rivian's just going to break 14 before we can get in. That stock is bleeding today. As strong as Nvidia is, and some of the couple of chip names, yeah, some of these shorts have now gotten away from us.
So we, we punched into Nvidia there. I'm already out of a third of it here at 30 cents. So we're going to take this. Like this is, honestly, for what we're doing right now, 30, 40, 50 cents with the shares is completely fine for us. Nice move to the upside right now. We still have 2/3 on for Nvidia. I'm going to take a piece off right there again. All right, so we're sitting at 135.50s right now, 51s for some reason. Must have put that up. All right, well, let's just see if it breaks. I'm actually going to cancel it. Let's see if we get a little bit higher. 135.75 maybe our next area for concern. And here goes Micron as well, man. I mean, it's too bad that we got stopped out of that Palantir because that's lower there here now as well. But there goes Micron. Again, some really great trades there today. Square still upside as well. And oh boy, here goes Nvidia. And I want to thank Obi for motivating me yesterday for even using more shares. So let's see if it can work out for us right now on Nvidia one more time. What's up, Adara?
QUBT is sharply up here. This one is up 32%, short float of 16.9%. So you can see here we just took out here these post-market highs from yesterday. Yesterday, they did announce they received a prime contract from NASA, so QUBT running day 2 in a NASA move, but we do have all of this strength in the quantum space in general. RGTI and especially QBTS also popping to the upside, so quantum definitely still in play today, guys. Back to you.
Obi, how did you tell me to use more shares? It's coming back down now. But that's why we get out. So we still do have a little bit here. Yeah, market's trying to retrace back a little bit. So we take those out. We get some out in the 50s. We still have shares though. VWAP down there, 134. We ain't going nowhere. And then right there, Micron as well. Let's go, man. Face slap that one there for you here today. So far, man, this sticky note has been, I don't know, crazy today one more time. So let's just keep on pumping that up. Thanks for the watch. Thanks for the support. We were, again, if you bought the 109 dips as we wrote down, this is now $3 in the money, looking for higher. We busted out the own trade. It is your number one. Well, the number one idea is Nvidia long, which we have, which will be my P&L number one. But there's Micron, number 2 idea right now on the sticky note. It's at Trader TV Sean, and about as clear as day. This ain't no ifs, ands, or buts. If these trades come in, man, we are taking them. So right now, we are $1.80 in the money on 3 positions. So not too bad. Let's get some more out here on Micron as we approach 112.
112 where the players dwell, and maybe it gets to that 115 before Nvidia, before those earnings tonight. Like Nvidia is the one thing that's set up. I could argue that maybe Google set up for the short, but like I said, I'm not going to chase that thing. We did take another leg out there when it got back into 135.5. So now I'm sitting on a third and looking for it to just continue the trend. If we break the trend, we can always try to jump out of this bad boy. But here comes for the first time, Rivian starting to head up, but you're getting a nice bounce in the future.
Oh, that Palantir, we should be rich.
Like, look at this wick. If we were able to hold, the NASDAQ holds this line and is able to sort of go green, then you've got like a bottoming tail candle and a nice little rounded bottom. So I think you want to be very careful. If you like something short, you want to see confirmation that we're going to hold under like 22.25 on that NASDAQ. So be very, very I'm being very, very patient with anything short. Of course, we like Tesla. I thought the money fills were underneath 460. 461 ends up holding, and now Tesla powering to the upside. Super, super strong name. We'll see where it ends up going, but we thought we'd get a bit of a deeper dip like what happened in yesterday's trade for not Palantir, but for Tesla. It's looking pretty strong. Google's, I think, the dog. And I'm going to continue to look short on Google, but it can't even seem to get to VWAP here. I wanted to just press. Give me some kind of a bounce when the market bounces to be able to fade in. I don't want to short that low of the day.
So, I mean, it's not embarrassing because of the trades that we have on, but, you know, we talked about it. I'm glad Neil's talking about it right now. We had talked about Google at 195 in the pre-market, and I was like, we did that sort of work with you guys, and we had looked at it, and we sort of said, you know, what was happening there yesterday, and we talked about this as a roller coaster, and then closing at the lows, and then looking to break those. So this is a pretty easy trade that was missed, breaking there through 195. So we were getting excited about Nvidia and Palantir, and by the way, Palantir right now, that's too bad that it ran that 77 twice for us because look where it just went. It's right back there, so that's why I'm bringing it up. But it went right back into the 40s and 50s one more time before just getting right to this top again. We are hella long right now. We're 3 longs, all the longs we want, and we've got shares. So right now, this is risky to take this long, but Palantir looking just as good as the rest right now, going higher and higher and higher. PLTR's all-time highs we're looking at is 80 and change, right? $81 close. We did get a little bit higher than that previously as well. But yeah, we're still holding on to about 40% or so of Nvidia. I'm gonna get another piece out right now, another 10% or so of what we have left in the 40s if we can. You know, it's not looking super strong, to be honest with you, but if the market wants to rally, then, you know, I'm pretty confident in this name. And you don't ever want to put all your eggs in one basket, which is why we have Square, Palantir. Square also right there, that's $1 right now. So we're taking some of that right here. And then Micron. Micron is a really, really big one, man. We're out of 80% of Micron up here at 112. So we'll take sort of that 70 cents and see what happens. I just didn't want to be too exposed here to all these chip names. So we are starting to pull back just a little bit. What's up, Adara?
Keep an eye here in Airbnb. Not a lot of volume on this name right now, but there is a catalyst, so be aware of any potential moves. The company confirmed that the Spanish government is investigating them over unpermitted listings, but they did say they're planning to appeal any potential fines. So again, Airbnb confirming that they're being investigated in Spain, guys. Back to you. Make sure to like and subscribe if you're enjoying the content.
Yeah, Airbnb, worth a look there. Actually, there's a couple of names that we didn't take a look at in the travel space that are looking very interesting. We'll get at some point. I'll make a comment about Carnival and RCL as well. But I'm now into Rivian. That did pop adjacent to VWAP as the market did end up closing or underneath. Yeah, it looks like we lost a little bit of support here or on the NASDAQ. So we end up closing with a red, and I think we're going to look for that continuation. And anything I like to the short side. I'm now short 29s here in front of VWAP. And Nvidia just lost the 135 bid. So I think the best fill, you could have gotten 80s. My best fill was in the 60s on Nvidia as it's now heading back into VWAP. If it loses VWAP, then you just wait for the pre-market lows. I still am favoring the longs. It's up 3.5% into a market that is weak. But if the market continues to go down, you got to be able to pick your spot and be patient with it here on NVDA. And then the other thing we like short, I'm not in Alphabet. Why? Because it just won't get to VWAP. 194, 3 times it's now tested 194. If it tested a 4th and fails, then I guess I should short the 194 level here on Alphabet.
All right, so we bought some dips in Nvidia. I mean, it didn't quite get to VWAP, but we bought them, so we're flat on the trade. We'll wait to see now. I'll put something out here in the teens if it does get back up to the upside. We just bought some 70s there, so far so good. I was waiting at 13. Did we just get those 13s? No, we did not. So it's, wow, we just put 13 there randomly, and it's just hitting 12s over and over again. That's strange. All right, well, I thought we would get that fill. Oh, we did get the fill. Oh, okay, that was good. All right, so we did get that fill there. All right, so good trade there on that. So we'll reload that, get a little bit more out on the upside. But hey, man, if we break through VWAP and all that kind of jazz, then we're going to get out of NVIDIA. So that's right here in and around 30s for NVDA with maybe a little bit of an opportunity to buy the dip there as well. Palantir falling out of bed right now a little bit, down to 76.80. So that's a good trade. If you did take that short that we were just talking about, up there at 77.30. I didn't want to do it. So, all right, Square as well. I was like, okay, market, some of these names that I'm in are falling right now, but Square right there remains $1. So we'll take it out again. Like, I don't know. I guess it's stronger than I thought it would be. So we get that early push. It's too bad we weren't bidding 94s at the time. We did after, but we didn't get those. So nice little move up there for Square. And we'll wait for a little bit more of a push here on Nvidia before we get a little bit of a better long right now on that one. And then Micron, we said we only had 10% left. We got out. We have 5% left now on Micron as we fall back into this 109 area. Let's be patient. Let's be patient and wait to see if we can get that. So we are coming into a level now for NVDA.
Yeah, it is.
Just got some 60s.
Yeah, it's just coming into VWAP. And remember, so this is also, it's not just VWAP, it's also the it's the pre-market highs as well, about 134.5. We're going to go to Dara, though, at the desk. What do you have for us?
A couple retail favorites on the move here, starting with SoundHound, SOUN, up about 11%, pulling back a bit from its day's high. But we do have a short float of about 25.2%. On Monday, Dan Ives of Wedbush raised its price target on the stock here from $10 to $22, so it looks like it could be a little bit of a continuation from that Monday announcement. We also have ACHR, that would be Archer Aviation. This one I was seeing recently was actually one of the top stocks on Wall Street bets as of late. Cantor Fitzgerald raising its price target from $10 to $13 for the stock. They've been also on watch lately with a 24.6% short float. So ACHR, SOUN, guys, back to you.
By accident, I meant to put
Tesla.
Go ahead. Yeah.
No, Tesla is, Tesla's going. It's still down, but look at that V shape. It just came into 4061. It just took 470 and continues to roll higher. So it's looking relatively strong compared to the market. If you have to be able to make an adjustment, when it did this yesterday, it kind of did this consolidation off of VWAP. I wasn't here to have seen it, but you guys can see it pretty clear. Consolidation off of VWAP, and then another leg to the upside. That's the trade I'll look for here next. But Nvidia's about to lose VWAP. So you got to be patient with this. I think if it loses VWAP here, you can retest those lows. That's $5-6. And you don't want to get absolutely burned. The other thing, which is starting to go here, Alphabet just broke VWAP into 195. So we're still thinking short on this stock, but now it's about to challenge that 195. We've been patient with it, but at some point, it's getting into the zone to pull the trigger for the fade. If this thing goes green, I don't want to be fighting it. That's at 195.5 for Alphabet. So Nvidia, like I said, Nvidia's pressing into VWAP in here. Kind of got it as it held the first time. Now it's really starting to hold here. Should have waited till it turned a green candle in, to be honest with you. A little bit of an early entry. Sometimes you get in too early, anticipating the VWAP bounce instead of participating in one.
Yeah, we're here too with Nvidia, so I'm still going to watch it. I mean, a break through this 134.25 or so area, and we're going to be out of it. So we could just regroup it. Like I said, this thing has been weak for a while, so let's not like just fall in love with it because it's up 3% today. But there's the drop down on Nvidia. So what goes up sometimes comes down, and at least we did good on the reload, waiting for these levels. So it'll be basically a flat day there for us on Nvidia. Square upside, and then Micron. We did. Well, maybe Nvidia, maybe was that the bounce there? I'll try it one more time. I'm going to give this to 134 break again here. So that might have been a little bit too early just to like all of a sudden just reload this thing again. But we'll wait to see where it goes from here. I just didn't want to be too like, okay, I just paid out the bottom, which I'm fine doing. You guys see me do that all the time, literally. But we'll wait to see. Oh, sorry, I'm still on Micron. There's Nvidia. We just bought it back. My bad. Thought we were on Nvidia there. All right, so we just bought it back at 39 after that little talk. So let's get some more out right now as it starts to climb back up there to the upside. Because again, like I'm not going to hold that thing against me, 50 cents and then get some out now on the way back up. I'm going to try to see if we can't let this thing get back to 145, 135. We'll take out 10% though as it does come back up. So hands off now. If it breaks 133, then we'll just say, you got me, Nvidia. And then we'll wait for a regroup on that one. Micron trying to battle 110 as well.
Yeah, it's
sound going.
We're gonna go to Darren in a quick second. We're starting to get a move down. We're getting some Rivian out, but it's obviously Nvidia is going to be a bit of a problem. And I am now about to pull the trigger on Google here. It's double tapped underneath 195. We can close underneath. Oh my God, I think we've got a good area to finally go short on this. Let's go to Adair again.
Some news here on D-Local. Around 1 million shares traded on the day, so just getting some volume now on a news-related spike. Basically here, there are reports that D-Local is working with investment bankers to explore some options going forward, including a potential sale. So DLO exploring some options with bankers, maybe even a sale. So keep an eye on this ticker, guys. Back to you.
Keep that ticker on the down low, Adara. Shh, with that one.
Yeah, I missed.
Don't let them know.
Look at this Palantir trade. We had this trade 3 times, and then it falls out. Palantir, man, that's too bad. That 77 level, we had talked about it. There wasn't really any volume issues there, so that would have just been a shot in the dark, really. I mean, you're playing a strong name, breaking through highs, right back in, thinking about the potential long now in that name. All right, so Nvidia is really my newest position. We still have Square, we still have Micron, and we're looking for some more. So what else you got? RGTI, Rigetti, we can have a look at. Wow, now up to $12. We highlighted this earlier, and we said this could actually happen where Barcode, and we showed you what happened yesterday. Barcode then broke the top there at 1150. I guess it's more like 1170. Ripper all the way to about $1 up there to 1270, and now pulling back. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Whoa,
now we're starting to get going here. Yeah, Nvidia's starting to finally go. So there we go, man. We'll talk about being down on it. Now we'll talk about being up on it. So right now, so far, so good here on Nvidia as we just get some 60s there on the upside. So we'll wait now to see if we get back up to 135.
Yeah, if we can get to 135, I'm going to take some out there on Nvidia. I'm sitting at 78 and 90, I think in the 90s as well. How is it even possible I still have a frog in my throat? It's crazy. I rest the voice. So nothing matters. Okay, so there goes Tesla. It does a little, not a consolidation. It does a wick into VWAP. So like yesterday, the dip buys were fast and furious. It looks like the same thing again here today on Tesla. We waited for Alphabet to hold 195, but if it breaks 195, I'm not going to fight this thing.
There we go. Let's
if I'm in at the half, I'm out if it breaks that even. We didn't get the short off top on Google, so we'll have to be patient and wait for it. This is looking like a reversal candle here on the NASDAQ, which has you favoring some of those long trades. So it all comes back to where it started. Nvidia, a little bit better of, like this entry, like that's a bad entry. That's what a good entry is supposed to look like. Like let it wick underneath VWAP, show you the curl, and then get the long. So if we can get back up to those highs, it just got the fill in the 90s, and we'll look to see if we can get back to the high. Remember, at 135.5, there was a swath of selling up there that turned us on this move, so I'd expect to see some resistance one more time. Rivian is doing, it just keeps on wicking VWAP, and if it does it a couple more times, I want to see if I can get fills. I'm getting filled 30s. I'd like to be shorting the mid 30s. It's a $14 stock, so that ends up mattering at the end of the day. Like I said, Tesla is just way too far gone here. I don't want to take any breakout longs on Tesla. I'd rather try and play something off of VWAP if we even get that opportunity. Rocket ship and the market goes green. This is one I think you want today, but I don't want to buy any highs. Same way I didn't want to short any bottoms, I don't want to buy any highs. We'll play that dip buy because usually it is incoming as long as you're patient.
Yeah, we've got what I think should be a good trade as well, maybe. We'll see. With Square, but with NVIDIA. So we actually start to cash it out. So we did have that trade that Neil was talking about for that perfect entry, and that's exactly what we took. So we got out and retook it on that retake. So retook on the retake. So that was a good one there. We'll see now where we can go. And hopefully higher right there. But out, man. And again, it's just going to be like, I can't, because if you're using, like if you're using 1 lots, 2 lots, 3 lots, by the time you get up to here, it's like you got to always, it doesn't even matter the share size that you're using, right? It's just you got to think to yourself, like, where is my out? What are my expectations on this play? So it's like that 135, I mean, I wanted it to break for sure, but it wasn't breaking. So some of us, we got to sit here, and when I'm actually in a position, and this is another thing, Obi and I talked about this yesterday, when you have shares in a position and you're seeing something, you got to sometimes change your game plan a little bit and say, hey, you know what? The profit that we have at this point, because we've given a lot of profit away on this show a lot of times, right? And it's like, all right, maybe it's not breaking that 135. So I'm not going to hold, the bag all the way back in. So right there, I'm taking some more out. It just comes to 85. We're taking more out right there back to the upside. So let's just keep on doing that and just hope that we have enough shares that when it breaks higher, we can make our day right there, right? I mean, that's the whole point of what we're trying to do here is to actually make some money. So we got to have some runners on. We saw the benefit of that the last couple of days with Tesla, and then hopefully now today with Nvidia. So let's just see if this wants to get back going. The only problem is, Neil, today, of course, we have Fed. And,
and all bets are off at 2 o'clock.
Everything. So
all bets are off on Robinhood. I don't know if we. Why is Robinhood so? Oh, Bitcoin. Okay, so just one quick.
Oh my God!
Here.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Whoops. Yeah, Bitcoin is
Didn't notice that.
making a move to the downside. To put it, it's not a huge move, but we just fell about $1,000. Call it like 600-700 rather rapidly. So Robinhood, that just took out yesterday's low and is not looking very good, approaching the $40 level. So shout out to everyone that was yelling this one in the chat. We'll stop our first L of the day, and it's going to be Alphabet short. This is one of the names I like short. We're in the other one on Rivian, but it's not at that 98. It's hull under 95. I think he had to take the break of 95. Obviously, we're looking for Tesla long and Nvidia long at that moment, but it can still do a rounded bottom. This is an execution that I don't like because I didn't really let it curl. Yeah, it kind of tagged underneath once, and then we shorted it, but that's not enough. This is still trending up. It's all green candles. Need to actually have a reversion of the trend or a rounded for a better entry. Something resembling what happened over here in Nvidia, just in the other direction. Right? Like you get the rounded bottom, then you buy VWAP. You don't buy VWAP here, you buy VWAP in there when it's showing you the confirmation. So Rivian's looking okay because Rivian's weak, but again, kind of early entry. This is where you want to be able to grab it. It matters. That's 35 instead of 29s and 30s. And I think that at the end of the day, like you want to be able to refine the trading in that regard. So let's go over to the desk and see what's happening now besides this crypto move.
Pretty nice bounce here right now for these indices. We have the Qs down about 0.1% right now. The SPY actually, I believe, it's made it to Korean Yap about 0.5% or 0.05%. So nice bounce here for the S&P 500. Both indices, though, relatively flat on the day, still, again, above some of that early morning sell-off. We also have, of course, the FOMC meeting on March coming through at 2 p.m. Eastern. We are expecting that 25 basis point cut. So we have to wait and see if that's what's happening, but that is pretty much what we're expecting here from the market as a whole. Bitcoin and watch to the downside. A lot of continuation plays, though. We have Quantum still really, really strong here. There's some other strong names we want to talk about, including Nvidia. NVDA here up about 3.5% on reports here from Omdia, which is a technology consultancy group, saying that Microsoft is scooping up almost 500,000 NVIDIA AI Hopper chips. It's a good look here for NVDA. Then we have OKLO pulling back a little bit as of right now, but still up about 14%. Announcing this partnership with Switch here. It's apparently a landmark or largest corporate clean power agreement ever signed. So good look here for OKLO. Decent short float as well, about 16.8%. And last but not least, UNH and all of these health insurance names pushing higher. UNH making days highs as we speak, up about 3.5%. Looks like a bit of a rebound after a couple of weeks here now of sell-off following the shooting of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson and some comments from Donald Trump that were negative towards the industry. Make sure to like and subscribe if you're enjoying the content. And of course, you can actually watch the FOMC meeting and reaction live with us at 2 p.m. Back to you guys.
Yeah, watch that live with us. I mean, hopefully I'm not in too many shares at that point as we keep getting more out. So here comes Nvidia. I mean, it's going to be a banger here today. My number one stock. We don't have too much to complain about here because there's the reload on Micron, and there it goes right back to the upside. So let's get, okay, Micron, all right, right back up there to VWAP. So we finally get that move now in the chip names. And again, it's just kind of happening right here, right? It's not, Nvidia's been fine, but Micron, there it goes. Nice move to the upside. Square, again, looking at the math, we have 3% left. It is falling back in. I'm going to wait for 94 and nothing else. So if that comes through, great. But again, we talk about what we're expecting on Nvidia, right? There's the push-ups. There's a bunch of outs right there. So we don't have to hold it when it comes back in like this again. So there it goes. Look at this. So we just took these out for 70 cents higher than where we are right now. What a wild name some of these stocks are today.
The moves are essentially, they just dropped a bid. Like it wasn't even a lot of selling that just happened at 135. Like it broke 135 and they just dropped the bid for about 30 to 40 pennies. And then there was a little bit of follow through. So if it's going to bounce off VWAP again, let's look for another bottoming tail candle and a bit of a reverse there. I'll show you, we talked about being patient. I said I didn't like the entry on Alphabet. Well, look what happened. Like the second we get out, I'm like, okay, let's actually see a rounded flunk. They dropped the bid on Google just as well. So I didn't like the entry before, but I had just blindly held on to it, would have looked good. It's bouncing VWAP. Let's see it play back in 195 before we jump into this one again. So Nvidia looking fine. Tesla, I think, tried to give you an opportunity. I didn't want to be sitting bid while you had all that move down in, but now 470 is starting to hold. And I don't know if we're going to get this VWAP anymore on Tesla. And it could just be one of these, I don't want to take the break, I want the dip, but it's starting to set up 473 pretty cleanly here on Tesla. So it might just be that. If we never get the dip into VWAP, then I guess I'm just taking a 473 break. If it does a consolidation like this on a flag and I can't get the bid I want, then we're just going to take the momentum breakout on Tesla. I know it's down today, but that's a liquidity grab underneath pre-market. It's a consolidation higher and setting up a breakout off the top in a market that's reversing.
So we did not buy the dip there. Yeah, good look there on those names. We did not buy the dip in Nvidia. We probably should have, but we're taking advantage of that to come back to the upside. NUKK here. Nucleus open then halted again right now. So up 91%. This is what it looks like. So if you are in this name, great. But halts there, make the move back into 17, halt again back there to the upside. So just this name here, if we want to have a quick little look, and we go into detail. And we type in here, we had Rigetti yesterday, NUKK. We like that Rigetti for sure right there. Okay, so short flow percentage, probably wrong, but it's showing that, so we'll have to respect it, 1.18% right there on the short float. But what we're looking for here is, where is it? Total shares outstanding. We've had that before here. Float 52, I'll have to find it. Sometimes on this platform here, I can find them and then I can't. Earnings per share. Anyways, we'll get it in a second. But at the end of the day,
200 million.
200 million. Okay.
That's what I see.
Yeah, probably right. I just and Adara just sent it to us as well, so we can double check that. But there it is right there. NUKK. Yeah. So she sees a 17% short float. That was for Rigetti. Yeah. We're looking for NUKK. But at the end of the day, it's halted right now. So I just want to bring that to everybody's attention as we continue to look for those names.
Tesla broke.
There it goes. Okay, so Tesla's now breaking.
Tesla broke 73. See, it is what it is, man. Like
That's strong.
If you got the dip buy, you're in underneath $470. Well, okay, never mind. If you got the dip buy, you could be long at 461 or 462. If you got the dip off VWAP, you could be long underneath the 470. But it ended up setting up this breakout. But I want to zoom out. It closed just underneath 480 and had this dip into 476 as well. So these provide some targets. If we break 475, like the scalp trade on the break, I want to get one more fill. I'm looking for one more fill at 474 if we can even get it. And then I want to work 75, 76, and then 480. If we lose 473, which we just did I just put an even dollar stop? No. Yeah, I put an even dollar stop. That's so silly. Anyways, usually that stop goes here. Prior high, 472.65. Means I'm just going to get back in and put the stop where it should be on Tesla. Because if we lose this, I think you can head back into VWAP is what I was getting at. But I don't like even dollar stops. Oops. I think you got to give it a little bit of room to breathe, but I was able to get back in at the same price. We'll give it to the prior high, and if we lose that, work 470 or work VWAP. Nvidia, as you just mentioned, I think, look at the barcode now off of VWAP. You got to be careful with this. Like, it's not going anymore and the market looking strong, but it's still holding VWAP. I like the fact that it's holding VWAP, but at some point, the other side of it is you got to go. You know what I mean? Like, I'd like to see us, if the NASDAQ goes green, I'm expecting Nvidia should already be at 136, 137, not chilling out here at underneath 135. So it's a bit of a disappointment, at least on this second salvo in NVDA, because the market wants to go green here on the NASDAQ at least. Forget about the ES.
Yeah, I think that's why. The
ES is already green,
Yeah, I know we're obsessed with big cap stocks here. But the thing is like, you got to look at what you're doing. That's why I'm trying to show you some Rigettis over here and some Nucleus and things like that. But at the end of the day, we looked at Micron today. And this one, blast there, reload it down there at 110. Although we had written down here on today's sticky note that we like the 108 to 109 area. Once we saw that there was an opportunity to come back into this 110, we were like, let's try that. It does break a little lower. We're still at that 109.50 area if that does come in, but we're just getting lighter. So there's the reload, there's the move higher here. As like Neil said, the NASDAQ's trying to go. And yeah,
It's doing everything.
Fool's gold on Nvidia, man. I mean, we kept getting out. So right now, we're fine on this name. We're going to be up on it, but for right now, it is coming back in. So you got to be very, very careful with your management of the shares here, because although we were like, Nvidia's strong, we like the name, it's been good. It's holding 3%. This is where it opened. It's like, I don't want to panic and be like, oh my God, this is like definitely coming back in. But if you break that 200 period moving average, then there's going to be a problem, and that's going to be something to look at. So for me, my stop right here is actually breaking through that 134. So that is going to be that 200 period is 134, basically flat. So if it breaks that, then we're going to get out. Possible. I thought we were going to reload it up here. Maybe we are not down here. Sorry, I do have a bid. So right now, buy the O's is where we're waiting to see if we can get a little bit of a dip buy opportunity now. I'll put a little bit on now at 28s like we just did. But, you know, we'll wait to see what winds up happening. So our average price right now, 37s for Nvidia. Take something out at 50 again. If we're able to, then something out at 60s. And there it is. So 28. I mean, this is what we're doing. Right, trying to put on more shares and then scalping little it out pieces by pieces and trying to hold on to a green net here with NVDA. So that's that. Nvidia, Micron, and Square, the three that I've got on board right now. Were you just in Tesla there? Tesla?
Yeah, we've been in.
Tesla went in and out. Yeah.
Tesla came in and out again, and we're trying to go for another long 3 times. Hopefully, a charm as they're now bull flagging into 475. It's not really a bull flag. It's a channel up here on Tesla. Initial break good. First dip, not. Looking for a second dip in here. Still, I think Nvidia could be in a little bit of trouble. Was that a call for Adara? Okay, no, there wasn't. But Nuke.
Yep, that's going again.
Nuke is, for everyone that's in this name, it is halted again at another fresh high, $26.62. This one clearly, yeah, this might be the one today. I'd wager to say this is the small cap runner of the day as it continues to go higher and higher and higher. Now it is time for it.
Yeah.
Keep an eye on DoorDash, DASH. Not much movement here, but this could also be a potential antipathy play for UBER. So keep an eye on both of those tickers. We have The Verge reporting here, which is a tech reporting company here, basically saying that Wing, which is a subsidiary of Google, is actually expanding its drone delivery service to DoorDash customers. So drone delivery here for DASH in partnership with a subsidiary of GOOGL. Keep an eye on both tickers here, guys. Back to you.
So I'm at 67s. Okay, there's the fill right there. So we'll just go a little bit of face slapper there on NVIDIA. And again, it's staying with the names. It's being positive, and trying to like not just give things up just because, right? And I think that's you know, what we're trying to do is watch out for our levels breaking, and NVIDIA didn't break. So there it goes right back up to the upside. Let's try to let this one run again. So what else? All right, Affirm. Oh, we did see, you know what I actually wanted to look at again? I'm going to do it in a second here after we look at Affirm, $71. It just came up across my e-signal there. Hey, we haven't done any, maybe Trade the Pool's coming up soon. Affirm, so down there, I guess it's, yeah, perfect, thanks, Fabian. We just got the scanner alert that we are basically breaking near VWAP there, so I didn't look at it in the last couple minutes, but there it is, right there, breaking back down below. So I was going to say, like, hey, this scan does come completely from e-signal, but right now we have the trade ideas, scan trade ideas over there. But yeah, that's part of it. The other name that I want to talk about before we got away from this, I don't remember. Let me go quickly here. Apple 253 yesterday. We got 254-ish, I think maybe at one point there yesterday. Yeah, 254.10 or so. Apple pulling back down as well right now. So some of these moves starting to come back in just a little bit. SMR. That's what I want to do. Where is that right now? Because I was thinking about the nuclear names. Let's go, NVIDIA. Come on, baby. Another 30 cents on the reload. We've taken like 30 cents. They're like, when you add it up, right? Yeah, SMR straight down. So we wanted to look at this at $20. So with nuclear going nuclear, we'll wait for these small modular reactors to see if they can pick up some speed right here down at that $20 mark. There was also that OKLO story.
Oklo is the other one.
Right, so there goes NVIDIA.
Oklo is the Sam Altman nuclear name, which...
Right, probably better.
I mean, the more I think about that one, so Tesla is now pulling the same bull flag, like that prior high in here, just to finish the thoughts, 472.5 in front. If it loses this consolidation, we said VWAP, Now it's trying to break 474. What I don't like about this is you have a bit of a topping tail candle into 75, but I still want to be long into 75 as opposed to taking a breakout into 75. So I'd rather take some shots here at this bull flag than try to take another breakout trade up at 475. We'll take some shots in here, see if it can continue to go, scalp some into 475. If we lose the $0.50, jump out, and then wait in for VWAP. Rivian's still doing the same thing underneath VWAP and looking weak. But yeah, I like that Oklo. Like why? Like if you have two names, and I know it's pulling back now, but if you're looking at 2 or 3 names and one of them has Altman behind it, I think sometimes it gives it some juice. What I would look for here, though, because it's dumping like a knife, or falling like a knife, I should say, is this sets up a mean reversion trade. Anytime something trends like this fast and this hard, I typically draw the trend and just wait. If you're looking long here, you've got to wait for this one to calm down and do some kind of a mean reversion trade. And then maybe look for some kind of a long, because it is dumping. Rivian, I did not get the refill last time off VWAP. If it comes up here again, I will look for the short in the 1430s. It has yet to flat bottom break this low, but if it does, break the quarters. I mean, you're talking about 14 even at this point. Rivian, one of the weaker names that I've seen today. I mean, it's only down 3%, but the market about to go green. I keep saying we're about to go green. The ES is green. It's the NASDAQ, which is essentially like just a couple of ticks away from going into the green. I think it's going to happen. You want to have your longs in there. Make sure you're short only like a weak stock.
Yeah, or just make sure, right now we're at the highs of the day for ourselves right now. I mean, look at this. We just tweeted this out again, and this is what it is here. It's off the sticky note, and we just talked about Micron, long at these areas. So long Nvidia is going to be my P&L number 1 today, will be Nvidia. P&L number 2 will be Micron. P&L number 3 will be Square. Palantir we're flat on, and the only other name we traded was nothing. So that's it. So we say thank you so much for that, Randy, right there. So just staying in our pocket here as we go. So another out for us. And oh boy, some of these reloads, just boom, 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 boom. Like these reloads here on Nvidia, just so cash money that, yeah, really, I don't know, just really made a difference there, being patient and waiting for some of those dip buy opportunities instead of just getting super excited and getting right in there immediately. Wait for the trades to show up. And that's what we did. Yeah, go ahead.
The timing on the dip buys today has been as impetuous as Randy's timing on the reloads for the coffee.
Yes.
And my defense is impregnable.
He got the bat signal again. You know, I'm sending it out.
We should have that as a key. Actually, that would be a lot of fun. If we can get I don't know if you're hearing, Fabian, if we could get like a key, which is like just an R, and we do like a little Randy symbol.
Yeah, I just message him privately.
No, I know. He
doesn't watch it. Yeah, for the show. Yeah. That'd be cool if that actually hit his desk. You know, goes right over to where his.
Can you imagine?
That'd be awesome.
Well, there's also something called GChat, which, by the way, Google is a champion. Oh, Nvidia. Sorry, Tesla. Okay, so Tesla did break 475. I know we can go into celebration mode, but it also just wicked 475. Meaning you broke that even dollar. I didn't want to take the breakout. We'd look long into it. I have 72.92 as my entry. And I'm gonna tighten this up to the prior bar. This is the prior bar open here, which is essentially break even. If we fail 475, want to make sure we don't turn this trade red. Right? Like I don't think it would make sense for a consolidation here to turn it red by holding it something crazy. So next out will be if we get into 477 and then 480. I kind of felt like above 480 was a short today on Tesla, if we can even get there. All bets are off, obviously, at 2 o'clock, but Tesla looking good. Nvidia holding 135 at least, or just underneath 135. And we'll see. This market looks like it wants to go green. It hasn't even done it yet. So there's still so much time and so much more that can happen. One other note, Apple about to go green if it can break out. If we can break green here on Apple, I think that would be a good sign for the overall market. And try to remember, Apple has another all-time high that we could be taking out here today. I wasn't bullish or bearish on Apple, but when you do a V-shape like this, if you can take out the top, I don't mind joining a good trade. But right now, Tesla working a couple bucks in the money, Nvidia is doing Nvidia things, and we're going back to Adara.
You keep an eye on QUBT here. Citroen Research, if you recall, last week issued a negative statement here on RGTI. Now they're going after QUBT, saying that, quote, it is the most ridiculous of the quantum stocks, which Citron Research believes are in a bubble, specifically the small cap quantum stocks, saying that the R&D spending for QUBT seems kind of ludicrous compared to that of IONQ and even RGTI, which we know Citron has also been critical of. So keep an eye on some of these quantum names, especially QUBT, for a potential move to the downside on that Citron Research note. Back to you guys. Make sure to like and subscribe.
It's trade the pool time. So trade the pool allows stock traders like you to get evaluated and trade real shares using the company's capital with no PDT rule holding you back. Trade the pool has just launched a limited edition program. For a one-time fee of just $300, you will receive $80,000 in buying power and the chance to become a funded trader. Hit a profit target of just 4% and you'll start trading with the company's capital. Get funded faster and easier with the new condition designed for your success. And the best part about it is the profit split has been upgraded to a generous 70%. So you keep more of what you earn. Do not wait. Check it out right now. Trade bigger and better with Trade the Pool. Scan that link in the description or click the link in the description, scan the QR code on your screen right now to get involved with Trade the Pool. What I was going to say about Trade the Pool and about prop trading is gives you the opportunity to do exactly what we're doing right here on Nvidia. So it's getting out perfectly up to 135 like every time. So now, like when this drips back down in and breaks this 134 at one point here today, then we're out. And we have enough outs up here to say, okay, that's a little bit of a safety net, right? And so that's kind of what we've been doing here as we continue to go up. It's just like this. Look at the stair steps, right? Every 20 pennies until we get to that dollar club right there up to the highs. And again, look where we're getting out, right? At past areas of break points. So there's the break up through 1125. There's our next out there at 1125 again. So it's just playing the ranges back, forth, and around. And it's funny that that story comes out and then Adara leads it with, they were also negative a few weeks ago or whatever, a few days ago, I'm not sure when the story was, on Rigetti. And this name is just, so maybe all these quantum plays are actually legit, and we'll just get this all figured out, right? Quantum computing, we talked about the story there with crypto. Now crypto's at 104. We actually haven't looked at crypto yet today, really, so we can maybe have a look. Yeah, we'll have a look at Bitcoin and some of those names. But what I was going to say is that crypto does have the chance to crack the blockchain quantum computing.
Encryption, yeah.
So I don't know if it's going to or not, but at the end of the day, they'll get that figured out.
You know what I'd be more concerned with?
Too much money. Look at Oklo.
I'd be a little bit more concerned like the Palo Altos of the world. I feel like it's the cybersecurity names.
Exactly, yeah.
Where, and I'm probably saying that selfishly because like I have Palo Alto and still haven't sold all my CrowdStrike, but I think we're a ways away from that. But it's something to keep in the back of your mind if you're wondering what the other side of that could be. It's not just a blockchain, just overall cybersecurity, I think is going to be able to change. Nuke is halted again. I'm going to get there in a second. Rivian just tagged 1405 and was able to get a fill down there. So if it gets up to VWAP here, I still think we can play off the VWAP short as this name just continues to flush. I know it's down 4%, but I don't want to be scared of this in the higher time frame. It's in a nice upward channel. It's just it rejected $15. That's all it had. Rejected 15 yesterday. So I'm thinking short-term short into the low 13s, at least temporarily here on Rivian. Tesla is still doing some battle with the 475 area as it just keeps on trying to break away. And we're just not seeing it. The initial break okay at this range, second dip no good. Then we had the last dip just underneath 73. We were able to get some out at 74, 74.5, and then 75. So now I want it to break out channel and get to 48. But if we lose, if we break here at our entry, I'm getting out and waiting for VWAP here. Like you're not really flying. The market's trying to go, and we're not getting a crazy move here yet. I think yet is a big term. Nuke is now halted at 30.76 with a tap of 32. No one ever went broke taking profit. This one is going, well, nuclear. That's the best one I got.
That's a good one. Yeah, that's multiple dollars on nuclear. That is for sure. But there it goes. So here it goes, man. Building a tree of wealth, one Nvidia share at a time, as it just keeps going up. If we show the chart here, there it is, man. Now it looks like we're planting red roses to the upside there as we just plant again, straight upside. So yeah, this is going to be quite a good stock there. We just take some more out at 130. I mean, how greedy can we get? Like 135.50 right there, right back basically up in 2 days high. Like, yeah, man, we are going to be getting some out up there. So good trading. Again, we'll wait on, I'm going to wait on Micron. We only have about 5% left of Micron and Square and a little bit more on Nvidia. Okay, China rapidly, all right. So they're just saying that Beijing has increased their nuclear arsenal by more than 20% in a year. So I mean, the U.S. maybe has gone 30%, so I don't really know.
Yeah,
that doesn't mean that much to me. I mean, we can go right over to the uranium ETF here. Doesn't seem to want to move too much. This name's been getting absolutely shellacked over the last little while as well. So just in a little bit of a scare moment there, I will take some more out at 20 because, man, greed is bad. And we're not going to get too greedy here on NVIDIA. Take the dollar where we see it. It's right here, right now. So that's the out there for NVIDIA. All right, without any further ado, Adara over at the screen.
Before we get to the small cap talk, be aware, CEO of Salesforce, Mark Benioff, is set to appear on CNBC soon. So keep an eye on CRM potentially. I'll keep you guys posted if anything of note is said during that event, but keep an eye here on IWM as well. Actually up on the day, despite selling off pretty hard at the open, trying to hold on to this area just below 232, around that 231 halves level. Let's see if this one can reclaim that 233 and eventually pop above 234 because we based out pretty nicely yesterday evening. Then we have this NUKK. We have to talk about Nucleus because I want to give some of the background on this stock beyond that wild move. We are up about 158% right now. Continuously halting is this name, and it actually is a day two move. Yesterday, it ran up after announcing it's acquired a 51% stake in Star 26. Star 26 is actually a majority owner of Rivian, which is his Iron Dome suppliers. So kind of adjacent Iron Dome catalyst here for NUKK with a 1.17 million share float. 2.47% of that float is sold short. And then we have here SKYT. This is Skywater Technologies. This is also a day two move. No catalyst for this name yesterday or today, but you've got about a 10% short float and just under $1 billion market cap. Last but not least, we have PLRZ here. This is Polyrizon. This company up about 200%, continuing to push nicely in a little bit of a bull flag here, announcing they're going to be moving forward with this expected 2025 clinical trial. They've also entered a manufacturing agreement in Europe for their allergy blocker. So good look here for PLRZ, about a $16 million market cap for this ticker. Back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Adara. You'll see I'm now out of Tesla. It's done a couple of things here. One, it got past underneath break. It got underneath a break even. Since the 475, it's broken the trend since VWAP as well. I'm not shorting it because of this, but we're definitely going to get out and look for the regression. If it does the regression into VWAP, great. If it gets back on trend, it looks like it'll be an above 475 play for me. But we didn't get it off VWAP. We didn't get it off 460, so we take it where it lies and don't want to necessarily fight it that high up here. Either we get the falls we want or we scalp our couple of bucks, stay green on the stock, and look for the next opportunity. Rivian did make a flush through $14, so it did break it. But that's kind of a bottoming tail candle there, Rivian. So I took on the upside here, I took some out at 14.05. When it broke that trend, I don't need these bids. And those were when it was breaking 14 just for looking for a flush down there. Now if we retest under 14, we'll just see how far it wants to go. So Rivian, one entry short underneath VWAP, and it continues to break the low of the day. Tesla will just be patient looking for a re-entry. And I had the one entry off of VWAP there in Nvidia, and then we started focusing on that Tesla long, which I'm happy with. But if Nvidia does another pull into VWAP, I'm not really staring down Tesla as intently. We'll try to get it one more time. So far, so good here. The only blemish was Alphabet, which I knew I was going to take my shot on Alphabet, but I'm not going to force the action. We liked it better, or at least I liked it better off of 198 if we could get it, or breaking 95. And we missed the breakdown trade and try to catch it on the way back up. So now I just wait. If there's a chance to short it off of yesterday's lower highs, we can patiently wait for that opportunity if it wants to give it to us. You got to be able to take what the market gives you. And I see a few people saying Uber is going crazy.
It is.
In the chat. I haven't looked at Uber today. I know you were looking at it earlier. I pulled it up maybe once on Uber. See, it did the dip and rip off the August low. August low.
Yeah, that was a good trade. So we, you know, we had put some more money to work down there. I think we got filled at 60.60. We talked about that exact price and when we got filled on it and so on and so forth. So a nice little move back up there for Uber. I still think our average price is around 66 or 67. So we'll wait to get a little bit more there on Uber, and hopefully it'll get back up to the upside again. A very, very long-term play for me. I'm just building. I'm not selling any more stock. Period. So I've already talked about that. If anything, I sell. I talked about potentially in the swing. I'm not selling any more of my long-term stuff because it's all in stuff that I like, and I'm just building a position in Uber. So we like that one. And then if I do any sort of buying, maybe moving forward, we talked about it. Crypto or probably just ETFs. Like, you know, stock picking is great, but you're never really beating indexes. So, you know, that's just been proven. You know, no point. Anyways, that's some strategy, but I like Uber. Again, back into some of those lows, as Neil was just mentioning. You know, we hit those lows. We talked about 50 period, 200 period moving averages, how far below we were on these names, and coming into these levels. We said our next buy area on this would be 56, would be that bottom. But I like the name, I like the idea. It's kind of like why I said the only name that we're dip buying these days is going to be Nvidia. So we did Uber, we did Nvidia. We haven't bought Nvidia lately. This was one that we were waiting for. I'm not even looking at any other stocks right now. But there it goes. Now another big trade for us back up to the upside. Nvidia will be easily P&L number one. And there it is there, 135.55. And it makes me feel good because, you know, yesterday we had Tesla on here. It was good. It was fine. But we're just... Today's sticky note, man, has just been pretty hot fire there with Nvidia, Micron, and Square. So that will be 1, 2, and 3 right here today for me. So big, you know, big time trades there on all of these trades. There's Micron, dip buy opportunities. Square has just been huge from the jump right there. We actually got our I didn't think this was coming in. And when we got it, we got a little nervous, which is why we didn't put any bids. Once we saw 94 hold, we checked our notes, and we actually saw that we wrote down here 94.50. So we hadn't, you know, really thought too much about that 94 level. Once it held, we put a bid back there, did not come back. So straight upside right now. So 75 cents right now on Square, $1.30 right now on Nvidia, 65 cents on Micron. So, and at the highest spot we've been at today. So far, so good here. Let's just keep it going. Yeah, Oklo, that was the other name. So I brought that up to you guys before. It's really just fallen in right now. So I don't know, Adara, if there was some kind of news on this or not, but we just dropped from 23 down to 19. So we just dropped out $4 on 23. So down 20% right there before maybe. And it's interesting that you say that because I was thinking about it. Just dropped into this sort of 200 period right there. Could have been an area to buy Oklo down in and around $19. So maybe we look for that moving forward if it comes back into 19. But Nvidia, man, need to keep taking some more out. I'm going to take another piece right now at 43 because, as Neil mentioned, man, you cannot make money until that is in your pocket and you actually wind up selling something. So we're going to sell.
The mattress.
I try to put in the mattress. Sometimes the kids find it, the wife, so on and so forth. So we'll just keep it like this, and then we'll lock it up on the blockchain, and then so nobody can get it, right, Joe? And then we'll do that, and then hopefully we don't ever forget our codes to that. But you know,
yet another reason.
That's it. I'm dumping it all into IBIT, so I just log into my account and get out.
Yeah, well, it's another reason why Bitcoin does so well. Limited supply, and a bunch of it's like lost forever, right? So
I know, my
that 21 million you're not going to get to. We just got a super chat here. I'm going to get to the super chat here as we're about to go to crypto. Thank you, Nick W, for the super chat. Good look on Nvidia. Made a few hundred on that trade. You know, mind giving your thoughts on Serve? I'll get to Serve or serve you with some ideas on Serve when we get back from the crypto update with Adara.
I'll talk about Oklo first quickly. I could not find any news on Oklo, Sean, but it's worth noting a couple minutes before that drop, I was seeing a post here from Zero Hedge on X, basically showing that apparently there's increased short interest in Oklo every time that we get a rally like this. So it looks like we could just have some shorts piling into the stock. Unsure, though, if there's any specific news. I could not find anything when I looked. So OKLO on watch there as it pushes lower. But BTC also pushing lower here. We had a bit of a topping tail candle yesterday. Bit of a doji here. We had a high of around 108.2. Then we closed here around that just above 106,000. As of right now, we are trying to hold on to 104,000 for BTC. Other crypto names pretty red here as well. Ethereum down about 2%. around 38 halves. XRP down about 4%. XRP had a great rally yesterday as well after Ripple announced that its RLUSD stablecoin had gone live. So XRP actually giving back some of those gains from yesterday. Dogecoin to the downside, Cardano, Avalanche, Tron, all to the downside as well. So lots of weakness for crypto. We'll have to wait and see if this changes when we have the FOMC meeting coming through at 2 p.m. and then comments from Fed Chair Powell at 2:30. As Sean mentioned earlier, crypto does tend to react to these kind of statements and announcements. Guys, back to you.
No, not Tron. Not Tron. Where's my net worth gone?
The
Tron
world's
coin.
richest man. What's the crickets for? Why you gotta drop the crickets on?
I'm just glad Cardano sounds Italian because that's made me some good money there just by that. All right, so there goes Micron, man. Micron, yes, but it's Nvidia is what I meant to say. As there it goes up to new highs right now for the day. I don't, we already have some outs up here. Let's just see if that is exactly those new highs. I mean, look what we've been doing. Buy, buy, buy. We did lose it there when we lost VWAP. That is for sure. But we were able to not get out of everything and actually wind up buying some back. And then there's a back up to the upside, and then there's the dip into that level that we made the mistake previous. And there it goes, man. There it is. So that's the all-time high. Why did I say that? Daily high right there, and we bring it all the way back. And I mean, again, we wish we were holding on to that, but at the end of the day, we look down, we see money, we're happy with it. Good trade there for anybody that was able to hold on to. Your friend and mine, Nvidia. Again, the #1 trade idea of the day. If you only did Nvidia today, congratulations. It's been a big stock. I mean, Micron would have been good. These levels filled up pretty nicely. And actually, now that I see this at 111, I'm just actually going to punch some out. Okay, cancel. All right, so there we go. He wipes them out there at 95, 96. Get some more out as we're just back to that level one more time. So Micron still working, Square working. Right now we have about $3 in total in the blotter. So, I mean, pretty good day working out for us now as there goes Nvidia. Wow, 136. I mean, some of these levels that we liked are now washed through. I mean, you're not going to get these anymore. So that's why you got to take out some risk. And then watch. There's 136. So there was some decent size there at 136. I just think we go higher now. So we'll wait for it. But right now, it's a big one. It's Nvidia, and it's a monster. So good trade, and thanks for the super chat, everybody. But a good move there for Nvidia.
Yeah, and I promised I would get to your super chat, Nick Dubs. So very quickly on Serve. Just to finish the thoughts here. On the daily, it's kind of in a consolidated phase. I know it's down 5% today, but if you look at the last couple of times that this has made pullbacks, like a couple of days or one day, importantly, either it seems to always like these prior resistance levels, but maybe even 2 down. So if it doesn't hold on to 15 1/3 here, you could easily play back to $13. That's a wide range. So if you don't like that kind of a drip, then it needs to hold on to this low on SERV. Down 5 points, but it's still a very, very strong trend. And you know how you can find, are we ready? How do you find trends? How do you find key prices? Well, you do so with something like eSignal. Charts for a trader are going to be your window to the markets. And you want to make sure you have a platform that allows you to trade smarter and not harder. And how do you do that? By having access to pretty much every single market that you can imagine, every single indicator with customizable charts up and down, so that you can take your ideas, strategize them, turn them from hypotheticals, and then capitalize on them. And you can do that by back testing, by forward testing. They've got a great API that you can hook up to if that's what you are into. You can track multiple symbols. You can pretty much everything you're going to want to be able to do. And what I love about this is you also have the tick replay. So when you go to execute your trades, you're able to watch back in the moment when Nvidia was at VWAP. What did the tape look like? You were busy trading, go back and rewatch it so you can refine your entries and exits. You want to be able to take those ideas that you have and take them to the next level by refining your entries, your exits, and what stocks you're looking for in the first place. So scan that QR code you see in front of you. Check out the link in the description. Upgrade your trading experience with eSignal. Available on the web, available on mobile. Great platform, so check them out. The market is still trying to hold and go green, but it's not doing it, so we'll get away from Serve. As I said, there was a bit of a bottoming tail on Rivian. The good, one entry, keep it clean, it doesn't get back, and then break back above the 1440 level, which was your pre-market low, but we did miss one re-entry off VWAP. This is what I'm looking for now. Now that you're bouncing and reverting back in, we took the bulk out on the way down, we'll look for another curl off VWAP. Weak stock that stayed weak, I like it, so we'll keep working with that one to the downside only. One name which we did not say much about, which I just saw, and I asked Dara if there was any news here specifically. I think it's just continuation on Marvell. So Marvell is looking very weak. The market's trying to go back. Dumped yesterday at the open, but looking like a continuation play as it's now consolidating underneath support. This is screaming of a continuation short. If this can't get back above 112 as the market's going green, it's got a $3 to $4 gap that you could start breaking down underneath. It would just be a simple continuation play. So Marvell very suddenly, and thanks to the chat for pointing this one out. I wasn't here yesterday. I didn't really see Marvell do this. Shout out to everyone in the chat that noticed this one's looking weak one more time here today. So next available pop, I mean, whether it fades VWAP or fades 112, I'll look for the continuation play on MRVL. Let's go. Want the market to go green, but clearly this one has other ideas here.
All right, here goes 136 right now. Yeah, good call there. I was here yesterday and no mentions of Marvell, so good look on that one there today. So thanks guys for bringing that one up. We just offered Square right now. Hopefully it comes up when we get this fill. Just breaking these levels again. I just, again, trying to manage, trying to look to see, what stocks we have, what exactly are we doing to the upside here again. So here we go, man. New highs now, 136 and still pumping. So let's just keep this on board. Like just with the shares that I have on board right now, I've actually made more money on my current holding right now than I have all day just by getting out right here. So we've done pretty good. We have done pretty good by holding on to a decent amount right now to the upside. So like I said, the position that's unrealized is more than what I've made on all of these outs. So, and it's because it is such a significant move, almost $2 now in the money. So it's a good thing that we're able to hold that. And that's part of the strategies that I'm trying to talk about here, using more shares, trying to get out as it breaks key levels, support and resistance, and then boom goes the dynamite to the upside. And we hope to have some on, and there it is. So it's a nice move there for NVDA. Let's just check back in on Palantir again. This was, to me, the missed opportunity because we had 3 times short, made money, and then flat, basically. I lost right there. So flat on the day here for Palantir, but at the end of it all, missed opportunity because that 77 was there a little bit. We had talked about it. We were uncertain of what the market was going to do. And by the way, you could check the sticky note. You could check all the rhetoric and everything that we talked about earlier on in the day where I said that this could be just what this day is. Now it's 1040, it's flat again. You're actually slightly up now on the day after visiting down there at 22.2. So I'm not expecting much more to happen. I would think the high, maybe 22,350, somewhere in around here for the NASDAQ. Give it about another 30 or 40 handles up because that's basically the range that we went to the downside there off the open as well. So far so good. Stay the strong names, man. Stay long. I'm going to get another piece out right now on Nvidia if we can up here at 136.06. So good trading there. Monsters all abound today. And over there with red, see, it's battling, man. We've talked about Adair. We talked about that on the recap show there yesterday. We like the outfit. I'm going to say it's more like holiday, festive outfit. It
is festive.
Celebrating the holiday spirits and the festive giving of Festivus
I have a great
for the rest of us. Oh, tomorrow I'm taking off because it's my kid's holiday party.
The Christmas holiday party. Nice.
It's not even called that. It's called, I think it's called like Winter Celebrations.
Okay. They call ours an extravaganza.
Our school is very woke. Yes, exactly. Same thing there.
They don't say Christmas anymore.
I might bring a sign that just says Merry Christmas to everybody and see what happens.
What's crazy is the kids,
if I get kicked out of the Toronto
kids
school.
all say Merry Christmas. And it's only us. Well, okay, a lot of them, but it's the adults that just say
canceled.
Happy holidays.
That's why I need a thing that says canceled. You show up there, Fade.
You're fired.
Canceled.
Let's actually, it's 10:40. That means we're going to Sector Watch. I had to check to see which one.
Let's take a look here at these sectors. A lot of them are pretty mixed, much like the market, which, as Sean was talking about, kind of battling right now as we await the FOMC decision. Finance here, a little bit of green spots, but pretty flat. Retail trade, pretty flat. Utilities, process industries, communication, industrial services, distribution, consumer non-durables here as well. There's a little bit more red in the sector. Now let's talk about some sectors that are actually strong. Commercial services doing nicely here. MasterCard yesterday after the bell announced a dividend increase and also announced a $12 billion buyback program. And then we have to talk about health services because this is a massive comeback for the sector that's been beaten down for the last 2 weeks. Yesterday, we did have the indictment of the shooter of United Healthcare CEO, Brian Thompson. Then we have these sectors have a nice battle back to the upside. As of today, we actually have UNH reclaiming $500. So interesting look for that sector, certainly one to watch. We have to talk about tech, which really kind of personifies and embodies the mixed sentiment we're seeing in the market right now. Nvidia to the upside here, some strength here in TXN and Qualcomm, but Broadcom now down for the second day in a row after its strong post-earnings rally. Then electronic technology here, we have this Microsoft weakness, Meta to the upside. So all kind of a mix here in a lot of these major sectors, though again, there are some sectors that are sharply strong, guys. Back to you.
All right. Yeah, thank you for that, Adair. I saw someone say, so look, this is what's part of it. I know you're still in Nvidia, but this is what we're doing, man. Like once you get to some of these levels, we talked about it, getting some out. So there's some more out there on Nvidia. Like, you know, now what I'm holding is less than what we've made on the day so far. So good change there to get some out as we'll hold a little bit back in. And
actually
I'm not
breaking trend right now.
Yeah, that exactly. So that's what we're trying to think about right now. It's pulled back like this before. I mean, I had scary moments on this stock before. So this is like nothing new, but at the same time, yeah, you know, you never want to give it all back, right? And so, well, we can't give it all back, but you never want to give too much of it back. 135.20 there, the 50-period moving average, could be something to look at if you are thinking about areas of support and resistance. So for me right now, what just happened? I just bought some more down there? No, there's a mistake. Something just triggered there. So I'm going to deal with this.
Yeah, no, if it gets to VWAP, yes, but this candle is about to close breaking trend.
What did just happen
on
there?
Nvidia? And it doesn't matter where you draw the trend line, it'll probably break either the all-day trend, which would be here. That's the deeper one, which it's holding on to. It's the shallow trend that is trying to break. So there's a shallow trend, which it already broke, and then there's the deeper trend from the day. But whichever one you're working off of, I'm looking at the day-long trend, which would be the lower, and it's still holding, at least for now. So if we lose 135.40 or so, then I look for the VWAP retracement on that bad boy. So still looking pretty good. But, wow, apparently GameStop does seem to want to keep saying, wake me up when GameStop breaks 32.
It's been a good stock, huh?
It's time to maybe wake up here. Because GameStop hit 31.7. This is a big level. Okay, technically speaking, this is 32.20 something. So yeah, it needs to break like 32.25. But this could happen today. I'm probably jinxing it, and don't at me if it doesn't get there. But bit of a consolidation as it just pulled back. 32.25. Maybe today is the day for GameStop. I don't care whether it has a catalyst or not. It's a squeeze name with an upward trend into an obvious resistance zone here on GameStop. Oh, I didn't realize this, Mike. And thank you for the super chat. I swear, I didn't even know you had the super chat. I was going to talk about GameStop because people were mentioning it here. It's me. Oh, this is you, Michelle Hebert, Mr. Hebert. A lot of GameStop GB shares over the years sold last Friday, 30% of your shares for 35 January 17th calls. This is your life-changing trade, up 70% now. You'll keep us posted. Good luck to you with that. I'm just going to point out the technicals because every single time someone gets us excited about this stock, we've more or less said, hey man, if you can just break this out, suddenly it gets really exciting because the shorts have been in control from 30 to 32. And until that stops happening, I think you got a little bit of a limited upside there. So congratulations to you and good luck on your GameStop.
All right. I mean, we just wound up getting more shares than we had thought right there. So in just basically, it's not luck on the price. It's just luck on the fact that we took more shares. And that's why I had to pass over to Neil because I was like, oh my God. But then ever since we did that, like it's just ripped right there. So I don't, we took it live on the show, and there it goes right there, man. A monster trade right there for Nvidia. We just actually wind up making double what we had already made on it just on that trade alone. So pretty lucky right there for sure, as we did have about double the amount of shares that we punched into there that we meant to have. So that was a good trade at the end of the day. I don't know. I feel like my hand might have just hit enter, and we got those right there. So, all right, again, bank bank error in your favor a little bit there, but it doesn't matter. It's the level, right? So if anything, it just teaches you to use more shares, which I think is fine. If you do have the trade and you have the levels, you should be using more shares. That's the whole point of what we're doing. All right, 136. We can now hold on to that one. Just real quickly, this is the only thing that I want to talk about quickly with this, Mike. You see when it says this is my life-changing trade, I would say flatten immediately. If you already have, or at least maybe get out of 85% of it, if this trade is already changing your life on GameStop, congratulations. But for me, as I feel like responsible advice, I would have to say you might want to get out of some of that immediately, because you never know what could happen, and you'd hate to have like such a great high potentially in your life. And I don't know how much money we're talking about. It doesn't matter. You're the one that said this. I'd hate for that to go the other way, because it could happen very, very quickly. So my advice to you, if you ever make a huge trade like that actually does alter something and you haven't put that in paper yet, do it immediately. All right, Adara, what's up? Whoop. Breaking news.
Some breaking news here. So GFL, which is GFL Environment Group, or they trade here on the NYSE, actually getting a bit of a pop here in volume as the Globe and Mail reports that the company is in talks with Apollo to sell its environmental service divisions, valued here at $8 billion. So $8 billion segment sale here for GFL on watch. Again, not confirmed, just reported here by Globe and Mail. We're going to take a look here at the US dollar as well while we're here for our Money Talk segment. Right now here, up on the day, nice little support, bit of a curl here with a base of around that 106.80 level. Now, we do have the FOMC meeting coming up, of course. That's going to be coming at 2 p.m. with, comments from Fed Chair Powell at 2:30 p.m. As of right now, 98.6% of participants are pricing in a rate cut. That's actually up a little bit from yesterday, where we were expecting 98%. But again, it's worth noting, on Monday, we actually had 99.1% of participants expecting that cut. So this number is really waffling around, but it's certainly not as high as what we were seeing a few days ago. We'll have to wait and see what ends up happening here. Seems like overwhelmingly we're expecting that 25 basis point cut, but there can always be surprises. We'll have to find out at 2 p.m. We'll actually have the afternoon show starting early at 1:45 p.m. to give you guys all of the info. Come back to you guys. Make sure that you like and subscribe if you're enjoying the content.
Yeah, I'm still thinking, thank you very much, Adara. I'm still thinking there's the surprise. I don't think it's going to be there. Maybe it'll be like the dot plot will indicate that 2025 will be much less aggressive than people are expecting. But I feel like people are starting to get that whiff, because the markets, like again, today, like it looked weak this morning, and now the market's going green, and the consumer is still relatively strong. Although you can pick some. You can poke some holes in the narrative that the consumer is strong just by looking at the fact inflation's up, right? It's like people, in a real sense, are not necessarily buying a heck of a lot more. They're just paying higher prices for it, which is inflating some of the consumer strength to an extent. But
I have some bad news also for people that are looking forward to the dot plot. It means nothing. They plotted out 9 cuts or something the last year. The market was expecting 8 or 9 cuts, and we got half of that. So I just want to say, like, it's good for market momentum at the moment, like when they release it, but do as the market tells you, not as Jerome and company, because the Fed has been wrong, like, pretty much the whole existence. So, the market is what you're trading. And I just think it's a very, very important day today. That is for sure. We'll continue to watch out for that. Micron's getting lifted right now. And I'm just looking for what Neil was talking about as well. Like, we already looked at the CME Fed rate tool here. I'll just actually call it up for you right now. This is why we're so confident. If any of you are with this, refresh, right there. Okay, so this is what's looking at today, right? So there it is, 9. So as we said, Neil's like, oh, I'm surprised not 98%. 98.6% right there for the cut. But then we just slip over into January. So that cut puts us at 425, 450, right? Into January right now, you're going to see the same thing, 80%, and we'll see. This is the important thing. So as Brandon, Adara, myself, Sharif, we're all going to be here covering this number. But at the end of the day, we're going to wait to see how this changes, because this right now is 80% for no cut in January. So to me, that's the more important thing. And then it's 20% for another cut. There looks like there's a chance for a raise right there. And then let's just go out 2 more decisions into March. And there it goes again. It looks like we'll be about 50% chance that we're at another quarter point by March. So the market right now predicting stall, so cut, stall, cut. Right now is what we're looking at, and it's just quarter points both ways. Yeah, what goes up again for Nvidia? We're just getting less and less on this position. So there it is again, 136. So just cleaning out some of our positions here on NVDA. Only 8 minutes left. We haven't been getting the what's for lunch lately. So I don't know. Someone said, I bet you it's mystery meat. There will be a meat, and it may be a mystery.
It's usually not
I just don't know.
It's usually not, for us, it's not much of a mystery.
Oh no, when you look at
salad,
it, you can see it.
Because on the salad, we just, what did you get yesterday is the meat, and then if they add meat to our salad, it's pretty much whatever.
So yesterday was chicken thighs, I believe.
So we're probably getting chicken on our salad.
Yeah, but I think so. But the thing is, it was thighs. So they like to give us.
Yeah, actually, we usually we get white meat.
It was smoked salmon yesterday, but that one ran in the trash. I'm not a fan of smoked salmon. But
you don't like smoked? Oh, really?
Nah, not really on a salad like that.
I love smoked salmon. See, that's almost like it's such a waste because like that's.
Oh, it's a big time waste. It literally went in the trash.
I love. Well,
that's a waste.
No, because I would have had it. That's all.
Well, I can't save it for you. You're not even here.
No, obviously, if I was here, I would have. But Rivian, just one quick look here. This is now staying on trend. Hey, look at that nice wheel. That doesn't mean good things. Lower highs. It did not get to VWAP, but it held trend. So the second it held trend, added underneath here, that's like 14. I still had some shares over from 29, so I got some 19, so price is 21. We'll play it back into the 14 even area here on Rivian. I almost said Nvidia. Nvidia like that's, no, Nvidia's doing fine. Here's what the NASDAQ is potentially doing. Like we get green, NASDAQ goes green, nice upward trend, and then just like we had a bit of a bottoming tail candle early, now we're looking at a potential topping tail candle. So I think you want to make sure you're ready to potentially take some profits on those longs. I have the trend line on Nvidia, which it's trying to hold on to for a bit of a trail out. But yeah, like as the market just got green, you're getting a bit of a topping tail candle on that NASDAQ. You still, I don't like what's going on here. If you're bullish in the market, certainly not everything is strong. Marvell is just continuing to consolidate underneath this 112. It hasn't really pumped back up on this move up. So I want to be patient. I think looking short back into prior close is what I'd like to wait for. In a strong market, you want shorts to get to the prices that you want. You can chase a little bit longs because the market's strong and trending up. But when it's trending up, I don't want to be fighting shorts at the low of the day. Looking for Marvell to give you something closer to the 112 as this has stayed red after yesterday's nasty flush and then hold down at the bottom on the open. I don't know what's up with that. Weird one. Wasn't on the radar until you guys pointed it out, but it is now for Marvell. Just want to be patient like Rivian. Let it get back up to the either VWAP or the 112 level for that short play.
Okay, so shout out to Bears vs. Bulls, who's messaging me right now, and he's saying Mike wants me to see this. So thank you again, Bears vs. Bulls, and thank you again for the super chats. Yeah, so I'll not sell any of my GME shares or calls for so low. So he thinks they're going higher. I've been in this for freaking 4 years. Okay, too many fours there. Okay, so good, man. That's great. I'll be rich soon. Maybe you already are. That's the whole thing. I'll come to visit you guys in Toronto in my Lambo. Kidding or am I? I don't know if you are. I mean, that's why, honestly, when we do the show and when I give advice like that, it's just advice. And you guys know, it's just kind of like this, right? Like, we could sit here and show you our trades. Do you believe in them or not? Are we actually getting filled here or not, right? I mean, part of this show is integrity, and that's what we're trying to do every single day by me telling you what stocks I'm green on, what are the top stocks, all this kind of stuff. So whatever you guys are doing in your own personal accounts, congratulations on all that. All I can do is say, judge us by what we're doing here and in how we speak, and congratulations for GameStop, because look, I remember me and my son, this is about 4 years ago, I don't know, whenever that was happening, we were out, man, standing in front of GameStop stores. We were talking about to the moon. Everyone was absolutely loving it. GameStop can be a ride, and I'm glad that you're on it. But if you've been on for 4 years, I wonder, that's a lot of rolling over, or maybe you're in the shares. You said calls.
He said calls.
So I don't know exactly what's going on there. You probably got
From shares to calls. I thought that was.
Yeah, it just says, I'm not selling any of my GME shares or calls. So yeah, we're We're in both over there.
Sold last night.
But
Oh, he sold some shares to get into calls. That's
yeah,
what-
so there it goes, man. 31. I mean, it looks like it's been great. Flat there today. I really like that 25 level. We talked about that on GameStop. Now where the 50 period is, it's been dripping down into here for the last month, and every time it does, it just gets bought right back up. So yeah, they've already had their earnings, so that's all in the name now. So yeah, I think you just believe in things.
You know what I'd look for?
It's like Palantir. You believe in it.
I'm looking for if GameStop breaks the high, I'm looking dead on at AMC. It's only up 1%, but let's be real. Is there any reason why this is even up to 1% other than the fact that GameStop is going? That stuff doesn't matter anymore. Like I feel as if every single time this catches a bid on GameStop, GameStop's chart on the daily doesn't look bad. This one looks like trash. You just made another fresh low at the $4 level. So if we do get whoops, why is it still a Rivian chart? Ugh.
The chart's
Anyways,
taking a while.
I can
More
go back
outside
to,
video.
no, 3 minutes going to be fine here. No, if we get any kind of a fail at the high, fail breakout, this is yesterday's top at 435 on AMC, and I'd look for some kind of a short. I might just pay for locate so that we're ready in case GameStop goes parabolic, and then we can short AMC, although I should always check to see if we got them free. No, we don't. They'll probably cost pennies to be able to short AMC, but I want to be ready for it, because if GameStop continues to go, it's the sympathy short at some point, if it gets dragged up, that I do like a bit better.
All right, with only 1 minute to go. Thank you so much for everybody for watching. Oh, wow. Look what just came in. All righty then. All right, so what do we have? Oh, last night at the house, we actually had a beautiful, thank you, Marissa, for doing this as well, a beautiful roasted whole chicken, which was great with celery. I mean, roasted celery, roasted carrots, homemade gravy on there. Absolutely fantastic. With a little side salad and a little baguette to go. So absolutely beautiful. Thank you so much, Marissa, for doing everything for me all of the time. But today's What's for Lunch is back. First of all, I'm getting out some more Nvidia right here at 136. All right, what is for lunch? I'll say this again. Grilled lemon and herbed breast of chicken. Fine. Grilled lemon, herbed breast of chicken, that seems to be good. With steamed triple grain with quinoa. Roasted seasoned vegetables. So there you go. So I just talked about having roasted vegetables last night. They're part of my favorites, man. The roasted onions and carrots and celery, potatoes, all of that. You put it all in one big pan there, or pot, throw that in the oven, and you know, it is absolutely to die for. So, and my kids actually eat that like crazy. So there you go.
Which is the key.
Yeah, which is the key for us for sure, because
you find something you like, you just lean in.
Yeah, we're lucky that Gia likes poke bowls and all that stuff now. So that's great. Her favorite place is Freshie, which are the bowls that they make there from Mandy's or any kind of salad place. But there goes Nvidia right now on the reload, man. Big stock alert right here. Probably the most I've made on Nvidia this month. Just there today. And it's buy. Right up to the upside right now. So our stop is roughly, was going to be the 50 period. Now we're getting higher and higher. So now that we're getting out a little bit, I've changed the 50 period. I'm not going to change it. It was right down here at 135. Oh my God, I got to go swimming. So, all right, Neil, let's end this thing out.
It's 11 o'clock already. So it's going to be a fun one. Remember, it is Fed Day today. I know we know what we're going to get, but Powell's going to hit the podium at 2:30. We'll be back a little bit earlier than normal, like 1:50 or something along those lines. But for now, you got the Bash Brothers, you've got Sharif, you've got Joseph. Go get them.
What is up, beautiful people? Welcome